Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Under review.
So I always crack up when people go, I got a 4th and a 5th and a 6th. And Charlie Brown got a rock. I'll take the 4th, 5th, and 6th over the rock. If you miss on your first round draft pick, it can happen. You miss the second time, what are we doing here? You miss the third time, you should be fired. What are you doing running your team's draft? No excuses.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you on the last day of 2024. And because it is New Year's Day Eve, or I guess it's New Year's Eve Day. Right. Okay, good.
One of those.
Yeah, we got that sorted out. The Leafs have a special ceremony at about 1:04 this afternoon that we're going to throw to Mike Ross to listen to. And it is the alumni celebrating the lives of those alumni members who passed in the year 2024. Family members will be acknowledged. And it's just a really nice touch by the Maple Leaf hockey team. So we're pleased to be able to bring that to you, the audio part of it, at 1:04 this afternoon. Now, because I was doing Leafs Guy and prepping for that and making sure the Yes Guy chopper is good for your flight to the headquarters for the junior game, I didn't do all the prep that I wanted to, but I did in the commercial break that I'm looking at, and you mentioned this, the Islanders' power play is 11.5. The penalty kill is 63.4. If you add that up, you get to 74.8 for combined special teams. The magic number is 100. They are number 32 for the power play, number 32 for the penalty kill. If they get a whistle, they should just give the goal right away. Here,
either way, yeah, shorthanded or for the power play. And that's a big problem, and that just shows why they only have 5 wins in December. They have been struggling as of late, and this is a team that a lot of their blemishes over the last few seasons were covered by Ilya Sorokin, who's been struggling right now. And so I think for Toronto, they have to take advantage of that and don't give them an opportunity on the power play, because typically that's what happens when you talk about it. That's usually when they break out of that slump. But I think it's funny. You mentioned 100. I think the standard when I was playing, they wanted it to be 110, and if you judge it by that, they're nowhere close to that.
No.
It's putrid. So I've run out of adjectives to describe how bad it is. So Toronto, the struggle is the power play has been up and down the last probably 5-10 games. I think you want to draw 6 power plays, and if you get 2 or 3 on that power play tonight, that can help break this slump and sort of get you back into the win column.
I mean, the Leafs are 101.8, so they would actually want to improve on that. Their power play, not so good on the road, but 19th overall in the league. And then you got, the PK's 11th. You'd like to be in the top 10 if you're going to be, have a dream of a Stanley Cup. You'd like to be certainly at the top echelon.
Yeah, and that can change after a good 3-4 game segment, right? So the penalty kill, I do know they let in a goal against the Washington Capitals, but they've been very consistent. And Chris Tanev blocking shots, McCabe boxing out in front, and you had Stolarz for the most part, being the team's best penalty killer. And I think for Wall now, he needs to step up and knowing that this is his crease and step up there as well.
So the other bit of business regarding the roster was Hildeby was recalled yesterday. Matt Murray sent back to the Marlies, and Matt Murray admitted himself he needs more playing time, which is totally understandable based on his injury rehab and the length of time he's been out.
He did. he does, and he missed a whole entire year, and the expectations were it's going to take some time. You're not just going to hit the ground running, and he does have some good numbers in the American Hockey League. He did have the shutout before he got called up, but he just doesn't seem he's ready for consistent NHL action. And if that happens, or if it doesn't happen, he's had a great career in the Stanley Cups that he's won, and he's made a lot of money, so I don't feel sorry for him in that front, but he is a true competitor, and the fact that he came back from such an injury, surgery for that injury that he did have, just shows what type of competitor and warrior that he is, and he shouldn't feel ashamed if he plays another game in the NHL or not. But again, I think for him, coming back up after getting some reps, he can show he can be a serviceable guy. You don't turn into a $5 million goaltender overnight or by accident. I just think he needs a little bit more time seasoning, get his confidence up, and set himself up for a good rest of the season, or season in a different organization next year.
So what type of performance are you looking for from the Leafs? I would assume it would be score the first goal and control the game and the scoreboard.
Yes, and I think they've done a great job lately of coming out and starting on time, and they had every excuse against the Washington Capitals to come out flat, coming off a back-to-back against Detroit with travel, and they scored the game's first goal. So against an Islanders team who's struggling to be confident and struggling to find ways to win, I think that start is very, very paramount. Them coming in an early game, and they got to travel back after. They're probably looking forward to those New Year's hot chocolates tonight at midnight when the clock strikes midnight. So for Toronto, come out, play a heavy game, try to take their confidence and their will away, draw a couple power plays here and there, and try to capitalize early and get up, maybe one or two in the first 10 minutes.
So we were talking about the line shifts earlier, and a week ago they did move Domi off Robertson to McMahon, but now he's back there, and we all agree with that. What makes that line work for you? It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. I think Domi, yes, he's been told to shoot a little bit more, but he's a guy that defers and distributes the puck. And when you have a guy like Bobby McMahon who just has so much speed, Domi has a great job of just sort of reading where he's going to be. He puts pucks in areas. He puts pucks for him to get into foot races. And you saw in the 2-on-1 goal, Domi did have the shot, but he knew that McMahon with that speed was going to drive and create a lane for that backdoor tap-in, and he ended up getting that. So I think just that chemistry where they know they're going to be on the ice. And then on the other flank, you have Nick Robertson, who can skate as well, too. And I've been noticing him getting it on the forecheck. He's staying on his feet. He's playing a heavy game. So with McMahon and Robertson in sort of in the corners and just sort of that facilitator and Domi, they just seem to know where each other are on the ice, and that chemistry is slowly building, and they're scoring goals, it seems every other game here. And it's great because you need the depth scoring, and they have now three, scoring units that are consistently putting the puck in the net.
Well, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I'm going to say it. When that line scores, you could easily recall the highlight, and you could easily see the two assists that lead to the goal. Sometimes when other lines score, you see the one assist, but not the secondary assist. But these guys really work well together.
Yes, and I forgot what I ate for breakfast this morning, but I do remember the 2-on goal versus Washington, and I think Domi was on the rush a couple games ago, and he ended up scoring as well too. But it's I'm not saying it's highlight reel plays, but it's like grade A NHL, top line plays that they're making out there too. And I think the one thing is when they're together, their confidence levels are so high, whereas where they were spread apart, Robertson was struggling for confidence. Domi was unsure, and he was deferring maybe to the wrong guys at the wrong time. So they're just together, just that chemistry is there, and it's fun to watch, especially from up here.
So, player's perspective, these two questions are definitely that way. So, when the Islanders come to town and defeat you 10 days ago on home ice by a score of 6-3, and 10 days later you're playing them again on your home ice, that's recalled, isn't it?
From the player's perspective, I'd say no.
Really?
'Cause if I forgot about it, they forgot about it. And, you work in the now. And, yes, you do some video on it, and you go back and saying, okay, you know what, we got to clean it up here in the D zone. You know what, we can't let these pucks go through from the D. We need to do a better job of covering the defenseman and getting in shooting lanes. But you're not sitting there focusing on the results, saying, hey, we lost, this is a must-win. Again, I don't think they're not a division opponent, but this is the team that's ripe for the picking. And you're sitting here now 2 points behind the Florida Panthers with the game in hand, you're looking at it as we have an opportunity to capitalize on a team that's struggling. We get these 4 points. It sets us up now where we're not necessarily panicking or worried about, some of the guys that are out of the lineup, right? You lose these 2 games, it's like, okay, Boston's now up on our rear. Tampa Bay's, closing in on us. Where's Austin Matthews? By the way, what's going on with Mitch Marner? Continuing to get these points, so you just keep that outside noise where it's best, and that's on the outside.
So the other part of this is obviously they play on the road together on Thursday night. So it's the start of a home and home, but it's separated by New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So it doesn't have that same feel, does it?
No. And again, I'm not sure if someone has a day off tomorrow or, if what's happening when the clock strikes midnight. But it's very, very difficult for an NHLer because, again, you have to take care of your body and you have to get your sleep and you have to get your rest. But this is sort of the dog days where you have family, you got to get tickets, everyone's coming into town. So that's why, you see the Ottawa Senators, why they're doing so well. They're on the road. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So, again, it's the best league in the world. But remember, they are human, and there's going to be some ups and downs. And just giving you a little bit of insight on probably what's going in their minds right now.
So something to be said for, darn, I'm on the road for 2 weeks.
Oh, man. I got per diem, too. I got a free dinner here, free steak guy.
Oh, that darn road trip. Too bad. Oh, well. Okay, so the Islanders, and, we talked about their special teams. Dreadful. So how much talk does that get in the dressing room?
It's you talk about it, and I think, you still do your video and you still at the end of the day, Anders Lee's got 16 goals. Barzal is a high flyer. You got some other players that can put the puck in the net. You do not want to give them an opportunity. So if I'm Berube, I'm still preaching. The best penalty kill is discipline. So do not give them 5-6 opportunities because that just kills the momentum. And then you have guys that are usually on the power play. They're killing and just misses up the rhythm. So I think for them the key is we want to draw 4, 5, 6 power plays tonight because that can be the difference. I believe that power play was the difference against the Detroit Red Wings. It was 2-0. It's the end of the period there, and they end up scoring that. Was it 2-0 or 3-0? And they get that
3-0.
That power play goal where it put the game out of reach, where you knew that the Red Wings weren't coming back. So if you now capitalize on a penalty kill that is struggling, and you get 2 or 3 tonight, that is going to be the difference between winning and losing and cruising to victory. If they get that tonight, it'll be in their favor of getting the 2 points.
Just looking at the Islanders stat sheet, quite a bit different than Washington. Lee has 17, Palmieri has 12, Brock Nelson has 10, and Barzal, who's missed a lot of time with injury, has only played 16 games, has 3. The Washington team presented about 7 or 8 guys that were either in double digits or very close to it. So this is not the Washington Capitals.
They're not. And, Nick Dowd, who's on the 4th line, he's got 10 goals now on the season. Mangiapane scored his 8th from the 3rd line. So, but that can prove tricky, right? If you don't have a lot of information on some of these lower line players, I think that's why McMahon does so well, because before he wasn't necessarily the focal point of a scouting report, and he goes out and they're like, oh shoot, who's this guy? Oh, he's on a breakaway and he just scored. So again, for the Holmstroms and the Fashings and the McLeans and the Siplikovs, I think you got to keep an eye on those guys, because those are the guys, if you don't do that advanced scouting report, those are the ones that could burn you, because you just sort of give them a little extra time and space.
Siplikov playing with Nelson and Palmieri tonight, so we may allude to him in the first or second intermission.
You just love the name. And that's another guy. He's got 19 points as a younger player in the league. He's 6'3", 210, big body there too. So he can prove a little bit difficult in containment for some of the Leafs defense.
Siplikov scores.
You're predicting something. No,
I can't do that.
Shanny's going to come in here and say, what's going on in here? Are you guys psychic?
No, I'll say Stu set me up. Stu told me before that you would like that, so yeah, I'll bury Stu.
We'll be on the chopper by the time he gets in. That's there on the way to World Juniors, so don't worry.
I'm flying the chopper, so don't mess with me. Getting set for the World Juniors, and also the Leafs against the New York Islanders, first of 2 between these two, and they wrap it up on Thursday night. So we'll step out and line things up. We'll talk about the opening face-off further. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Get the official NHL app to watch, read, and listen to all the deets.
All I can say is
What's up, insiders? Happy New Year, BJ, Mike St. Jean, Floyd, Stefan, Mr. Roboto, the Canuckian. Thank you. Everybody please hit that like button. We need more likes. Toronto Maple Leafs loyal, true Canadian heart. It is so early. What time is it for you? There, it's, I've got 11:59. We're almost at noon here in the Central Time Zone. Today's going to be a good game. The Leafs need the points. It's going to be a crazy day of sports here on TSI. So thank you all for hanging out with us today. Man, what a crazy day. We're starting with the Leafs. Mississippi, I love it, Floyd. I might live there soon. Just saying, maybe. What a game day we have here. The Leafs started out the Raptors at 2 o'clock against the Celtics. 2 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock your time if you're in the Eastern Time Zone. And then we've got a crazy, crazy night ahead of us to close out 2024. And like you guys said in the chat, what a year it's been. This has been a great year for me and my family and this community as well. And that, honestly, this community is my life. Thank you guys for making a difference in my life, in the life of so many others at SickKids Hospital with our donations. We've got our football frenzy starting up right now. We got a great, great thing with Joe Bowen going here, raising money for Sick Kids. So, with that being said, let's get back to the hockey. The game should be starting up any minute now, and let's enjoy the last few hours of 2024. And some of you might run into 2024 during the game, depending on where you are. New Zealand, Australia. It's already 2025 probably, right? They're just hit. I don't even know. I'm not sure what the time zone stuff is like, but let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go.
Suspects. So I have to ask, will Marner, Nylander, and Tavares lead the way? Well, let's find out. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Welcome to Molson Canadian Leafs hockey live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. Joe Bowen and Jimmy Rouse standing by. The Islanders here this afternoon. A nice New Year's Eve day treat for everybody. So the Leaf lines will present like this. Tavares between Marner and Pacioretty. Camp centering Nylander and Nyes. Domi with Robertson and McMahon. Connor Dewar centering Reeves, who's back in, and Lorenzen on the blue line without OEL. Morgan Riley, Myers, McCabe, Tanev, Benoit, and Timmins. Stu, what do you make of all that?
Well, it's a good lefty-righty combo I could see on the defensive end there, but they're going to obviously miss the truculence and heavy game that Oliver Ekman-Larsson brings to this group as well. And, Camp, it's an opportunity for him to build on, his 12 and a half minutes that he's played. He's got some great line mates and Nyes and Nylander, who's amongst the lead goal scorers with 23 goals this year. But I think Toronto, the key is pouncing on this team that's very, very vulnerable, the New York Islanders. I believe in 4 of their last 6 losses, they've given up a goal within the first 5 minutes of the first period. So that start is very, very key, and Toronto did score in the first 3 minutes against the Detroit Red Wings and the Washington Capitals as well. So that start is a key. It's a little bit topsy-turvy. 1 o'clock, some guys are going to be discombobulated. So that key start, taking advantage of the home crowd, taking advantage of a team that's traveled probably last night, that's a recipe for success, along with specialty teams. They do that, they should wrap up and get the 2 points.
They met here at Scotiabank Arena Saturday, December 21st, and the Islanders won 6-3. After that, the Islanders were defeated by Buffalo, went into Pittsburgh and won. Were at home to Pittsburgh and won, went into Pittsburgh and lost. So they haven't played that much, but obviously there's, the Leafs would like to even the score from that performance 10 days ago, albeit, looking ahead to Thursday night against the Islanders on the road as well. So plenty of Islanders for the Leafs to sample over the next 2 games.
There is, and, what you don't want is when they look back at this season series and saying, hey, you know what, if we had those 3 points that we lost against the Islanders, that could have been the difference between home ice division or even winning the division. So a good thing is that the Islanders have been struggling. They're running into Sorokin, who's been struggling as of late. 898 save percentage on the season, where he's typically a 915, 920. So I think it's they're ripe for the picking. A start is key, and hopefully they can get some specialty teams win that battle tonight as well.
You can hear Mike Ross in the background, and in about 50 seconds we'll throw to him as the alumni who passed away in the year 2024 will be honored and their families acknowledged as well. But just looking out at Joseph Wall, he's got to have a big game here.
Yes, he does. He needs to rebound from a couple losses that he's had too. But I think now he can relax knowing that the crease is his. Hildeby's the backup, a young guy that there's no real back-to-back. So he has a runway now to probably get, 5 of the next 7-8 starts. And I think that confidence can help build and getting some wins and then now turning him back into that number one goalie that he once was.
Yeah, looking forward to Domi, Robertson, and McMahon. Boy, they've got great chemistry, don't they?
Great chemistry. And again, they're scoring some highlight reel goals. They're moving their feet. Very, very exciting. But most of all, when they're not scoring, they're bringing the energy, they're bringing the urgency, and they're pushing the pace for the rest of the group.
All right, let's go to Mike Ross. And for the record, the names are Pete Conacher, Jerry James, Larry McIntyre, Don Marshall, Paul Masnick, Ed Chadwick, Tim Ecclestone, Sergei Berezan, and Ron Ellis. The opening face-off is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Don't miss a feast of festive football on Sirius XM FC.
Ho, ho, ho.
From the drama of the Premier League
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah
to the excitement of Serie A.
What a start for Inter!
Enjoy your holiday season with the gift of live soccer.
Stupendously magnificent!
Courtesy of Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car, and the Sirius XM app. Head to SiriusXM.com/soccer schedule for all the match listings.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Vegas Golden Knights head coach Bruce Cassidy.
What gets you excited when you see their team, really starting to function at a high level?
Now you're bringing new guys in and creating a culture for them. I have always enjoyed that, enjoyed it in Boston, love it here. Two organizations with great culture and winning sort of attitudes, and we're seeing some young guys get a little more responsibility and handling it well.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. 24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Under review.
So I always crack up when people go, I got a 4th and a 5th and a 6th. And Charlie Brown got a rock. I'll take the 4th, 5th, and 6th over the rock. If you miss on your first round draft pick, it can happen. You miss the second time, what are we doing here? You miss the third time, you should be fired. What are you doing running your team's draft? No excuses.
Under Review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter. Haaland scores the hat-trick.
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. Do we make that next step? How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs and the New York Islanders in a matinee. In the starting lineup brought to you by Molson, official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs will start David Camp at center ice between Matthew Nyes and William Nylander on the right side. And it is Myers with Riley on the defense, and Joseph Wall gets the call in goal for the Maple Leafs this afternoon. He's 10-6-0 with a 2.57 goals against average, 909 save percentage. Ilya Sorokin, 11-11-4. The workhorse for the Islanders, 2.96 his goals against average. As we get set with the opening faceoff dropped, and we're underway, and glad you're along with us. Islanders send it down into the Leaf zone, and Wall's out of the cage to play it. Now wondering where to slap it around the boards. Got it to Nylander, and Kemp got it to the blue line, but not out. Cleared back in again, and then a errant pass by Wall into the corner. A turnover is pushed back to the blue line and kept in now by the Islanders with a long shot taken by Noah Dobson that is corralled. And we've got Myers shoving a little bit at the side of the goal. The faceoff coming in the Toronto end. And a lot of changes to the Leaf lineup.
Yeah, and one is the start time. Two, that's the lineup.
It's 7 o'clock?
Do you ever remember a 2 o'clock game here?
No, because this is a 1 o'clock game.
See? Answer the question.
No,
and then we'll go to 1
answer
o'clock.
Your question, no. But I have immediate reflections on a 1 o'clock start.
Thank God my dad told me yesterday it was 1 o'clock. I honestly said, I don't remember many 2 o'clock games.
No.
And he said, isn't it at 1? And I went, oh.
I don't remember many of them either.
I better get there early.
Leafs bring it through center. Here's Tavares in. A shot that went off a leg and bounces to the blue line. We might still be home. Long shot is kicked away by Sorokin as it goes into the near corner. Big hit there. No penalty, and the Islander player is hurt. Down into the corner it goes, and down and heading to the bench is Palmieri after taking a pretty good whack on the near boards.
He went face first into the glass.
Leafs don't get it out. Tavares playing it to the line, blocked there by the Islanders, who keep it in with a pass in front. That was blocked in front of the goal. Benoit now trying to move it around the boards, and Marner finds an opening to get it to the right wing side, where Timmins will flip out into the center ice area. Leafs get it through neutral ice. Played in on the left wing then by McMahon, but he couldn't get good control of the puck. Takes a pretty good run there at George, the defenseman, and it is played back to the Leaf zone. Tanev to the left wing side. Brought out at center ice now and shot down into Islander territory. Round back of the net, Robertson reverses the puck. Domi couldn't help him out. And the puck is along the near boards as the Islanders will flip it out into neutral ice. Robertson restores for Toronto, and McCabe will get it ahead. McMahon up ahead for Domi. Leafs in the midst of a change as it's shot in. Reeves into the forecheck, but won't get there in time to deliver any kind of a hit. And Dobson starts back for the Islanders as they play it down into the Leaf zone. Myers chasing after it in the far corners. It's rung around the boards, and Noah Dobson pinches in to keep it alive. McLean trying to get it back behind the net dead, but Morgan Riley was there first for the Leafs. Got it ahead. Nice little touch pass by Lorenz to allow Dewar to get it out, but then it's stolen back and rolled down in on goal, and Wall will cover up and stop play here for the Maple Leafs.
And Leafs have got to be careful. Connor Dewar turns the puck over here. He had room to chip it up the right wing side to get it out of the zone and into the Islander zone. Instead, tried to skate 2 more strides with it, knocked off his stick and back the other way. And you remember last game, turnover against Washington, ended up in the back of the Leaf net.
Pontus Holmberg and Oliver Ekman-Larsson scratched because of the flu bug. And, of course, Austin Matthews, who has been practicing, and there was some speculation he might play Thursday, but not in the lineup. And so the Leafs center ice is David Camp, Max Domi, and Connor Dewar.
We'll give you those numbers in a minute.
Played back to the point. Grabbed off there by Benoit. Purposely shot it wide to the far angle. It comes in front of the net. Nylander couldn't get a stick on it. And out come the Islanders, flipping it into the right wing corner. Bo Horvath centers in front, and a quick shot from an angle. And Wall had to be alert there as Anthony Duclair snuck in there and got a nice quick centering pass.
Yeah, and this was just a simple play. Chip it in, go after it. and throw it out front to somebody that's not covered. If you go through, now in fairness, David Camp, Max Domi, Connor Dewar have all been injured this year. But if you go centerman 2 through 4, they've combined for 4 goals. The Islanders, lines 2, 3, and 4, centermen have combined for 22. So that's where you better be good defensively if the goals aren't going to come easy at the other end.
Marner in the center ice area, backpedals into his own zone, finds McCabe on the left wing, and he'll launch it high into Islander territory. Back behind the net, Nelson playing it around on the boards. The Leafs intercept. Here's Tavares back to the point, and a shot deflected by Pacioretty, went well wide into the far corner. Got it back to the point again. Walking the line with it was Riley to the near side, and a whistling shot there by Tanev went wide. Leafs getting it back to the blue line again. Marner trying to make a pass, has a go to Tanev. He closes with a shot, and a glove save made by Ilya Sorokin, who will stop play and bring a face-off in the Islanders zone to the left.
A pretty good break by Mitch Marner, right? Tried to throw it to the slot, off his skate, and right onto the stick of Chris Tanev. If I'm not mistaken, is Tanev not the last Leaf defenseman to score? And that was a game in Tampa. You remember he snuck down from the point and beat Andrei Vasilevsky?
I believe you are correct, sir. Boy, it was... We had asked each other why nothing had been done on the passing of, notables Ron Ellis and Pete Conacher. The ceremony that they had before the game will encompass, and they'll do this on a regular basis. Unfortunately, it's just a fact of life. Alumni that pass in the calendar year. Here's Domi in on the right side, driving the net, got it in front of the goal, but Robertson couldn't deliver a shot. Robertson in the corner, working diligently with it there, plays it back to the point. Shot coming from Myers was well wide. Domi against the near boards, tried to center, and an easy shot by Robertson was steered wide by Sorokin. It's cleared out into the center ice area and chopped down into Toronto zone. We'll give the list to you when we get a stoppage of play, because there were some real notables. One of the all-time great Maple Leafs and games played, points and everything, and Ron Ellis passing away this summer as well. Pelech for the Islanders gets it up on the left wing. Rink wide pass for McLean. Tried to play it into the slot, and it was just tipped away, and now Nyes trying to gather up a loose puck and does through center ice. Got it in across the line. Nylander's trailing, and Nyes tried to go from his backhand to forehand, but it didn't quite reach his stick as it was knocked away, and Sorokin has an easy cover. Pete Conacher, Jerry James, who was a two-sport star, played for the Canadian Football League as well. Larry McIntyre, Donnie Marshall, whose career more punctuated with the Montreal Canadiens. Paul Masnick, Eddie Chadwick, one of our all-time favorite goaltenders. Last goaltender to ever play every game for the Toronto Maple Leafs in a season. Tim Ecclestone, Sergei Berezin, who passed way, way too early suddenly, and of course Ron Ellis, all honored here this afternoon. Leafs keep the puck in with a shot just wide of the net. It came across in front of the goal, and it rolled just wide. McCabe can't keep it in. It comes out at center ice, and Tanev will get it back for Tavares, who drops it back. Leafs are in the midst of a change as Marner goes to the bench, and the Leaf defense will stretch things out as the Islanders do likewise. Brought to center ice by Jake McCabe. Steven Lorenz, if he didn't hurt himself the other day with his leg, may have almost ruined his career there trying to straddle the blue line. Pass through, went wide of the Leaf goal. Back to the point, kept in by the Islanders. Near point for Mayfield. His shot was deflected wide of the goal. Riley back at the net, runs into a traffic jam. Connor Dewar couldn't help out. Reeves unable to get to the puck as the Islanders keep it in at the blue line, playing it around back of the net. Good cycling job done here by New York. Dropping it back to the point for Nelson. Nelson into the slot area, tipped away by the Leafs, almost affording Lorenz a breakaway. But it went off another shin pad, or he was away to the races.
Do like how much more aggressive that line was in their own end as far as covering the points go. And that's what almost led to the odd man rush after the turnover.
Islanders get it ahead at center. Domi intercepted a pass. Robertson to the left wing side. Benoit will shoot it in. Sorokin leaving it back of his cage. Hit there by Robertson didn't bring out the desired results, and it's shot back into Islander territory. No score. We're approaching 7 minutes played here in period number 1. Second game of this series. They will meet each other on Thursday on Long Island. Brought on now by Domi, who one-hands it deep into Islander territory. Pelech goes back for the puck. Got it around back of the net as Nylander lost his stick and is still searching for it. Finally has retrieved it. And now the Islanders start out with it. Through center ice. Trying to bring it in. Engvall tried to go to the net. That was broken up. It comes back along the boards. Kept in by McLean, who sent a shot wide. Islanders keep it in as it goes around back of the net. Fashing having difficulties against the boards, and Myers trying to chip it back of the net. Had it cut off there by Engvall, the former Leaf. And the Leafs get it up on the wing, but that crowd on that far half boards has kept it in. Long shot directed wide of the net then by Joseph Woll. Back of the net. Riley intercepts, got it ahead. Leafs trying to find an opening, but then Camp gives the puck away, and then the Islanders do likewise, and out come Toronto to center ice with a pass to center for Nylander. Nylander along with Riley. Nylander gets in over the line and pulls up. Played to the open corner for Pacioretty, who tried to center, and it was knocked away, and the Islanders will get it to the line, but stolen there. Leafs bring it right back in. Tavares right at the blue line, and a penalty coming here against the Islanders. Centering effort blocked, and as it's touched, the Leafs will get the first opportunity on the power play, which is brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. It is no score. 11:29 to go. Leafs to the first power play. And the first power play, I believe, against the Islanders this year. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hear every game of the college football playoff on SiriusXM. The quarterfinals kick off tonight at 7:30 Eastern when Boise State battles Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl.
Touchdown, Astro-Jetti!
Then tomorrow, a triple-header starts at 1 with Arizona State and Texas, followed by Oregon taking on Ohio State, and then Georgia faces Notre Dame. Get your channel numbers at SiriusXM.com/college football schedule or search college football on the Sirius.
What's up, insiders? How we doing tonight? It's not night. It's a day game. What is this business? New Year's Eve, we should be playing at night, but I guess with USA Canada going on and the college football playoffs, the Leafs players and management wanted to celebrate tonight, so they thought they'd get the game out of the way early. Thank you for being here. Please hit that like button down below. And let's get more hockey fans, more Leafs fans here into this awesome community where we raise money for SickKids Hospital every single game. Thank you for helping us heal the future. Thank you for hitting the like button. And as well, share this link out. Put it on the social boards, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. The more people that see a link out there that get brought over here, the more that YouTube likes it. Thank you, and happy 2024 coming to an end. All the best. Be safe tonight. And let's ring in 2025 in style.
To the final, the Champions League is on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
It's the penalty. The Leafs go to the power play. And this face-off brought to you by Alpine Credits. You own your own home. Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca.
And the special teams have not been special for the Islanders. Dead last in the power play and penalty kill this year.
And off the face-off, the Islanders are going to send it down into the Toronto zone. Wall holds onto it long enough to avoid traffic, and now Riley starts out with a pass ahead. Up on the right side, Tavares got it in over the line, and Marner goes after it into the far corner. Poked back at the net, Nyes gets there first, trying to play it back to the blue line, but there was no one there, and the Islanders breaking down the right side, and now Tavares gets back to take it away from Bo Horvat. Horvat will just play it back at the net. Good hustle there by Tavares.
In the last 7 games, the Islanders have only killed off 7 of 15.
Aaron, drop pass, kills off more time. Now Nylander through center, dropping it again, and Marner hits the line with a pass to Nyes on the left wing. Dropped it back to the blue line, tipped into Nylander to the near half boards. Nylander looks in front, still with it, down low Marner. Marner can't make a centering pass, goes back to Nylander. Nylander top of the circle to Marner. Marner on the near half boards again, down into the corner to Willie. Pass in front, off a stick, goes wide of the goal. Nylander back into the slot for Marner to the right wing side, a shot. Big pad save made by Sorokin. Leafs are going to keep it in. Nylander on the left wing boards. Took a shot that goes off a stick and it's going to carry him around to the far wing, but Marner gets there just to keep it in for a moment, and then it's knocked all the way down the ice by the Islanders. 26 seconds to go in the power play. The Islanders in their last 7 games have given up 7 goals on 15 times short. Looks like they're going to escape this one though. Rattled around the boards and down the ice it goes with 10 seconds left in the power play. The Leafs only the 1 shot on goal with the man advantage. Timmins ran into a traffic jam. Puck goes back down into the zone and the penalty is expired. Here's Domi across the line. Works along the line, but then had it poked out at center. He has to go back to neutral ice to restore it. Leafs are changing again. 9:14 to play in a scoreless first. Puck against the boards for Lorenz. He got it in over the line. Islanders are able to come away with it. Reeves looking to get a hit in and did. And the puck comes along the boards and it is shot down into the Toronto zone. Islanders back of the net with Anders Lee trying to come up with it. Lee against the boards back of the net. Pokes it up on the right wing side, and Reeves ran over his man and managed to get it out at center as McLean took a hit there. Barzal into the slot area. Turnover. No. Yes. Yeah, well, no. Islanders get a shot away, and it goes off a stick and up into the screen. Well, it could have almost on about 8 occasions.
4 times, yeah.
No score, Leafs and Islanders. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local.
Hey you, the insider that's watching with us, cheering on our Leafs on New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. I hope you have a great night and an even better 2025. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're popping that champagne tonight regardless, but I think we're going to hit 68,000 tonight with the football game and Canada-USA tonight. What a day we have here on TSI. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for being an insider and hanging out with us every single night. And if you haven't done that yet, please hit the subscribe button and help us on our way to 68,000 before the end of the year. Go Leafs, go! We'll see you back in the chat.
Alone, Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
And we're back.
I've got to say, what a thrill.
Couldn't agree more, Jeff. My blood is pumping.
Canadian Blood Services needs 450 new donors every day to keep Canada's lifeline strong.
And in the final quarter of the day, we have 55 left to... What's that?
Is that a new donor?
It's a new donor.
We're at 396. Only 54 left to go.
This is the 450 challenge. Let's get Canada's blood pumping.
Book an appointment today at blood.ca/450.
Had a real treat before the game today as Harry Neal dropped up to visit us. I'd never met Harry. This is Harry Neal, well, not even junior. This is Harry Neal's grandson. And
Yes.
8 years of age, and David Neal had brought him up to the game, and so we got to show him around a little bit and see where Grandpa used to work a little bit. It was fun.
It was great seeing David. I haven't seen him in a few years.
Yep. They live down in Niagara Falls. And Harry doing well in Buffalo. Played out at center ice. The Islanders go back. Pollock got it ahead to the line. Broken up there by the Leafs. McCabe poked onto the wing, but there is Pollock to send it right back down deeper into the Toronto zone.
This is a perfect game for the Islanders so far. No scoring chances either way. Just be patient.
Shot here goes off a stick and ramps up into the screen.
And is
out of play.
Don't you look at this as one of those games where you say, take control of it. Win it 4-1, 5-1, control it from the beginning, but Leafs don't come out with any kind of exceptional jump. After being outshot 5-4, despite being the team with the only power play so far tonight. And what was maybe the best chance was the one-timer, right, off the right wing circle?
Yep.
Other than that, neither team has had anything outstanding in the way of scoring opportunities.
Nyes can't get the puck out. Long shot had to be stopped by Wall on the turnover. And now Nylander leads to an open wing, and Morgan Riley steps up and is able to launch it down into Islander territory. Round back of the net, Romanov trying to play it up on the wing, and he does. The Islanders break it out with a pass. Almost got through there to Anthony Duclair, but it was stolen back by the Leafs at their own blue line. Now across the line, Myers will play it in deep and around back of the net. Noah Dobson for the Islanders, chipping it along the boards to the line and out. Cizikas in across the line. Casey Cizikas couldn't center. Leafs have it again, and onto the wing it comes for Benoit. He drops the puck blindly, but everybody was going to the bench, so it wasn't a turnover, and Nyes finally finds it and gets it down into Islander territory. That was the absolute epitome of the blind drop pass. There was no one there.
Fortunately,
yes. Shot back into the Toronto end. Chipped along the boards and then gathered up there on the far side by Isaiah George. He got it into the corner. Round back of the net for Bashing. Back to the point. George keeps it alive. He had the winning goal the other night, the Toronto native, as the puck comes free, and the Islanders keep it in. Pulock trying to get it over on the left wing side. A long shot is blockered away by Wall. Backhand to the blue line. One-handed out at center then by the Maple Leafs. McMahon, but to no avail as it's cleared by the Islanders again. McMahon getting it back to center ice, and a lot of the play has been rather ragged and in the neutral zone. Benoit to defense partner McCabe, round on the boards to the far side. A hit there by Pelech freed it up for the Islanders, who have it again on the right wing. Barzal makes a play to get in over the line, and does, and a shot is steered away by Wall off the stick of Noah Dobson, who has jumped into the rush. Leafs have played it out on the backhand down the ice. Icing is going to be called by the linesman on a bit of a gift call. James Tobias and Brad Kovacic are the linesmen. Graham Skeletor and Pierre Lambert are the referees this afternoon.
That whistle went before the puck crossed the goal line too, didn't it? I guess to avoid any kind of collision. As the face-off comes down to the right of Joseph Wall. New York Islanders come into the game 35 points. Still a point ahead of the New York Rangers, who lost again in Florida last night. They were actually the better team. I decided to stick my nose into watch it 5 minutes after Florida had taken an early 2-0 lead. It was all Rangers by then, but speaking of Harry Neal, he used to have that line that coming out of a losing streak, you usually lose a couple of games you should have won. We'll see if that rings true with the Rangers.
How about the Montreal Canadiens?
Go into Florida,
hottest teams in the league, and they're climbing back into at least be a playoff contender in the second half of the season. Errant pass by the Islanders is not icing for some reason, and the Leafs have to go back for it. Myers getting it up on the left wing for Riley. He'll shoot it in. No pressure here as the Leafs are in the midst of a change. Nylander floating around in the center of the offensive zone, but they couldn't get him the puck. Now turned back the other way, and Nylander brings it in on the left wing. Stops up at the half boards. Saucered it back, but unable to send the shot to the net was Nyes, and then Nylander had a backhand go trickling just off a couple of sticks and harmlessly wide. Islanders flip it to center ice. Leafs will regroup in their own zone to an open wing. Jake McCabe waiting for teammates to get over the boards. Gets it ahead now, and Nyes down the left wing. Took a bit of a hit, had it knocked off his stick by Hudson Fashing, and the Islanders get it back to the Leaf blue line, but not much deeper than that, as the Leafs will start back up at center. Up on the right side for Nylander, hustling to the front of the net. Domi can't get him the puck. And out come the Islanders the other way. Bashing. In over the Leaf line to the left wing side. Long shot, big pad save, but a huge rebound restored by Toronto. And it is Robertson trying to move up ice and won't be able to get around the last defenseman. Puck in the red line area, launched high on a bounce into the Toronto zone with 3:40 to go in a scoreless first period.
The Leafs only 4 shots on goal. 9-4 Islanders.
Played into the Islander zone, around the boards to the near side. Morgan Riley pinched to keep it alive, but the Islanders come away with it. Barzal will stick handle in his own zone and bring it out into neutral ice with a pass on the right wing for Pajot. Tried to return the favor, but it was out of the reach of the centerman. And now the Leafs have it again in their own end. Pacioretty's pass intended for Marner missed him, and it's going to be an icing call and come all the way back into the Toronto end. 3:09 to play in the period. A lot of youngsters in the crowd, which of course one of the reasons I enjoy the afternoon games, because grandkids and kids can come to the game and enjoy it.
As long as they've got good jobs.
Well, child labor is really overblown these days.
And connections.
Yeah. Well, chimney sweeps was always an important job when you were young, especially in England.
Or in the Sioux. Couldn't afford to go to Toronto for Leaf games either.
No. Well, there's that too. The Leafs have iced the puck again. There'll be another face-off. Well, if you have grandparents that have tickets.
Like you.
Yeah.
You have them.
Yeah, it's amazing how those can find their way into stockings.
I know nothing of what you speak.
Oh, well, I'm just telling you.
I didn't realize it was such a burden.
Shot blocked by the Leafs. It goes down into the near corner. Good hit there. Shot blocked by the Leafs.
Or in the Sioux. Couldn't afford to go to Toronto for Leaf games either.
No. Well, there's that too. The Leafs have iced the puck again. There'll be another face-off. Well, if you have grandparents that have tickets.
Like you.
Yeah.
You have them.
Yeah, it's amazing how those can find their way into stockings.
I know nothing of what you speak.
Oh, well, I'm just telling you.
I didn't realize it was such a burden.
Shot blocked by the Leafs. It goes down into the near corner. Good hit there by Riley to free it up for Benoit, but on the backhand pass he finds Tavares. Tavares was backpedaling towards the blue line, then turned and just shot it in as their line needs to be replaced. 2:40 to play in a scoreless first period. Islanders break through 7.
To beat the Islander goaltender from the top of the left wing circle. He funnels it back around behind the net, where Willie Nylander picks it off and makes a great pass out front to David Kemp, who is all alone. So Chris Tanev is going to get the secondary assist, but it is a brilliant play after great defensive plays in the Leaf zone.
Second goal in 3 games for David Kemp, which gives him 2 on the season. That's the bad news. But the good news, he's heating up.
Well, I mean, you do expect a little more if you're going to be playing with Willie Nylander and Matthew Nyes, right?
Icing call against the Islanders with 1:58 to go.
And I mean, in fairness, he missed a long stretch due to injuries as well. But
and he's never really been
a double-digit goal scorer either.
And he's never really been a second-line centerman or anything of that nature. So, yeah, I mean, we had a little fun at his expense, but I'm sure he's quite happy with the output.
But given the opportunity, I think that's where you say, you know what, we're going to give you more, so we need more in return.
Exactly. Yep, good point. Played down into the Toronto zone. Myers flipping it along the boards. Puck scrummed over there by SickKids. They'll try the other side to Morgan Riley, and Riley comes up the wall, and a nice play by Reeves to get it to Lorenz. He's got a man going to the front of the net. Oh, and it rang off the goalpost. Connor Dewar was sent in there. A couple of great passes, one by Reeves and the other by Lawrence, and the Leafs almost had a second goal.
Connor Dewar not as hot as David Camp.
No, not at this point. Puck in the offensive zone, though. Reeves chasing after SickKids, and with minute 8 left, both teams are going to get a change orchestrated here as it's down in the Islander zone. What a great play that Reeves made as he was falling, and then a brilliant pass by Lorenz, and Connor Dewar rang it off iron.
It's the 24th time the Islanders have given up the first goal of a game. Only 14 times have they scored first.
Barzal backpedaling in his own zone. The Leafs have been pretty successful when they've scored the opening goal of the hockey game. Play back down into Islander territory. Mayfield with it now, starting back out in center. Mayfield had it blocked. Tavares brings it back in, hoping for Pacioretty to arrive on the scene, and the drop pass to Marner didn't quite work. Now Marner working along the boards loses it, and out come the Islanders on the left wing side. Barzal trying to get in across the line, but Tanev took it away from him. Marner turns back up ice. Marner dropping it back into his own zone. Now Jake McCabe being bothered on the boards, realizing how much time was left. Now he and Pierre Engvall get into a little hack, whack, and slash exchange as the horn brings an end to the period, with the Leafs scoring the opening goal of the hockey game and leading 1-0.
I don't know if I've seen Pierre Engvall chirp before in a scrum, but he seems to be giving Jake McCabe an earful, and so I just looked it up. When the Leafs do score first, Joey, they are very impressive, 14-2-1.
That's what I said.
Oh, did you say it?
No, I said
yeah.
it was impressive.
No,
I
I
didn't
know.
have the numbers.
Yeah, that's why I looked it up.
Earlier we gave numbers all over the place, and if anybody was paying attention, they're all confused.
Welcome to our world.
Welcome to our mathematical world. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, David Camp from Nylander and Tanev at 17:54 is the only goal of the period. 1-0 Toronto, as the Islanders outshot the Leafs in the period 9-6. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart standing by. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's not 20.
What's up, Insiders? Great first period from the Buds. We take the lead into the intermission, 1-0. You gotta love it. That's how we're going to do it on New Year's. We're getting the W today. Thank you all for being here and cheering us on and cheering the Leafs on. I love it. Brandy, Stefan, Wilf, Canadian guy up north, Madison Haynes, Rick Smith, Jose Duarte, Stefan. You rock, Steph. Thanks for being here, and thanks for chatting it up and holding it down in the chat all the time, man. Much appreciated. What's up to you? I love it. We got a special message here for the football games. We're live tonight for the... God, I can't find the clicker to turn my my TV down, my computer TV. We've got a special message from Mr. Joe Bowen for our SickKids football frenzy for the football game tonight. So we're going to let that run right now. And then we'll let the intermission play. And I'm here hanging out, watching the game, chilling, relaxing, drinking some water, prepping up for tonight. And Shadow Sports. So everyone is ignoring me. I am an American Leafs fan. Shadow, we're not ignoring you. Thanks for being an American Leafs fan. I'm an American Leafs fan as well. I was born in Canada, moved down to the States when I was younger. My dad made me do it. I had no choice in the matter. And we're not ignoring you. There's just a chat rate of like 90 going on because we have a great community here. So nobody's just ignoring you. Just keep on saying stuff. We'll get to you. Everybody will see you. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Joe, take it away.
Changing the world one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, thank you for helping us raise money for SickKids Hospital as we heal the future. Cheers, insiders and football fans all over the world. This is Joe Bowen, Hall of Fame voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and, more importantly under these circumstances, a huge football fan of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Well, we want to thank you for hanging out with us and cheering on your favorite team during the SickKids Football Frenzy campaign here on TSI, where we make a real-world difference in our Toronto community. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering how you are making a difference. Well, a percentage of revenue from every single game will be donated directly to SickKids Hospital, as we have raised over $6,500 in just 8 months. SickKids has impacted my life, and I'm sure the lives of countless families in the Toronto area, and I know probably a number of yours as well. Please check out the link that is pinned in the chat or in the description and donate if you are able. Let's show the power of community of sports fans making a difference. One of the best ways to increase the amount of the donation is to share the link of this YouTube live stream on social media to help bring more football fans to our amazing community, changing the world one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, thank you for helping us raise money for SickKids Hospital as we heal the future.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? I love it. I love it. Thank you, Joe Bowen, for that read there and helping us out here on Toronto Sports Insider as we make a difference with SickKids Hospital. Thank you to all of the insiders who have donated in the past, and thank you for just being here, because just being here, you're making a difference with percentage of the revenue from every game, every month, donated to SickKids. It's still at 0 right now because we're starting tonight with the college football playoffs. We just got it all up there, but hopefully we'll get some action in there tonight. At least we'll be able to put last month's revenue in to there from the channel. Go Leafs, go! Refill those cocktails. Let's get ready for the second period. It's early. Start drinking now because we're going to be partying hard tonight. Well, I will be. I don't know about you. Go Leafs, go! Go Canada, go! We'll see you back in the chat.
The Executive Director, Vice President of Hockey Operations for the NHL, Colin Campbell.
The one thing that we're wrestling right now, like when do you change a call? We talk about a listening device in the referee's ear. Do we make that next step? How more perfect can we make a game through video review and helping the officials on the ice?
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
All right, well, since we're still in commercial break, there's a shout out to the University of Nebraska beating Boston College in a Pinstripe Bowl. Live chat. Gotta love it. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
And across the line for Nylander, a shot. Tanev gets the rebound and plays it around back of the net. Nylander center. They score! David Kemp, high-scoring centerman, makes it 1-0 Toronto.
And that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play. Leafs 1, Islanders nothing. TSN After 20 brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy fall to the fullest and winter as well with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. 1-0. You knew that just by the way that period was played, not a ton of flow, that it would be a sort of a slam dunk goal that would be the one to get this thing going.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sleepy first period, not much going on, but that's sort of the Islander style. They're big, they take away your time and space, and they sort of just collapse and protect the middle. So, good job by Tanev. And I think that's sort of the veteran leadership that he shows there, is knowing, hey, you know what, this game is ripe for the taking. Let me jump in here and maybe try to catch the Islanders sleeping. And he led the rush and then ended up making the play behind the net to Nylander, who fed a beautiful pass out front to Kemp, who was there all alone to make it 1-0. So, like we talked about in some of the other games here, it wasn't pretty, but we're not in the art business. But coming up 1-0 in a 1 o'clock game where you had to manufacture some energy and sort of find a way to get into this game, I'll take it if I'm Craig Berube and co.
Yeah, the way I describe it is it's not art and the framing department is closed. So it's not going to hang anywhere. That was a workmanlike period, to say the very least, and I like the way you described that. That's what the Islanders like to do to you. And you know, I asked you this during the course of the period. I mean, which team has the bigger problem with this game in terms of how it sort of messes up your life, in that, you know, you've got the home team and they've got stuff to do after this, and the road team has to fly back, and I mean, nobody wants to go to these parties bandaged.
Yeah. So again, I think, you don't want any injuries going back on that plane with the altitude, right? So no Charlie horses or anything where, that altitude might make your injury a little bit worse. So I can see the Islanders, just based on how they've been this month, only 5 wins in the month of December. The goaltending's been struggling. Specialty teams have been anything but special, and for them, I think they're just probably trying to get into the new year in one piece. So if I'm Toronto, and again, I talked about this, trying to score a goal in the first 5-10 minutes, I really want to emphasize the first 5-10 minutes and do what Pacioretty did. You saw him with a huge hit on Palmieri, and that sort of took Palmieri out of the game briefly here, but just continue just to pound them, because then they're going to say, you know what, tonight's not our night, let's pack it in and look forward to 2025. So up 1-0, it's only 7 shots on net. Power play struggled a little bit through one. Come out for those first 5-10 minutes and make sure it's a good one.
We spent a bit of time in the pregame and on Leafs Guy talking about the Washington game, in that the Leafs would score and then Washington would reply. So right after the Leafs goal, they almost got another doer with it, just a golden opportunity that didn't go in. And
that's what impressed me. It was the fourth line, right, where they kept the momentum, where they could have said, you know what, we're going to come back with maybe the second line or somebody else coming in. But Craig Berube had trust to say, you know what, these guys are going to come out here and continue playing the right way. And, it was a great touch by Ryan Reeves in the neutral zone to sort of spring Lorentz and Dewar. Great job skating through the neutral zone, fighting through traffic to get that shot off to almost make it 2-0. So that's what it's about. The momentum coming in waves, putting 2, 3, 4 shifts together. Fourth line had a great period. Tavares' line was very, very noticeable as well. Same thing with Domi all over the ice too. So, through 20 minutes, not bad. And I think they have a little extra gear, but getting the crowd into it with that goal, I think will help propel them into the second.
Wall stopped all 9 and made a particularly bright save on. There was a little chip play, maybe 5 minutes in, off the backboards. They tried to jam it in, and he was there.
Yeah, and he's been dialed in, and sometimes, with the Leafs, they're stuck in the offensive zone. There's 4 or 5 minutes without a shot. Then now he has to make a cluster of saves, 2, 3, 4 in a row. So he's done a good job at being dialed in there. He's moving fairly well. He's looking big. He's looking confident. And, if I'm Toronto, I'm not saying, hey, you know what, let's not make it a 30, 40 shots. But just continue to play pretty decent D-zone. I noticed they're collapsing a little bit in the D-zone, protecting the middle, where I think they got to front the points a little bit more, because they have some guys in Romanov and Dobson and even George can get pucks through consistently. So challenge those guys, because maybe you can turn it over and go back on offense and get a chance blocking a shot.
Stu, thanks very much. Leafs lead at 1-0 over the Islanders after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Firefighter Finn McHose, that's a nickname, right? Needed help contending with a blaze of debt. He called Alpine Credits and a superhero was sent his way. Summoning water, she extinguished the fire and consolidated his debt into one low monthly payment. His floors may be wet, but his debt is under control. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
With a turbocharged engine, fuel-efficient econ mode, and tons of cargo space, the 2025 Honda CR-V was made for winter adventures. But with heated front seats, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a cozy interior, you may want to stay in its comforts a little bit longer. Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive from $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,100 down. But hurry, Honda Stretch Lease offers end January 2nd. OAC conditions apply. Includes $1,500 lease bonus. See HondaOntario.com.
Whoa! Tuesday's Lotto Max jackpot is an estimated $20 million.
If I won, I'd get myself a double neck guitar.
Nice. I'd get a rooftop concert dome.
It's a dream on. Personal 5-star restaurant.
Backyard water park.
My own skydiving plane.
My own scuba diving school.
Nordic style spa.
Now that feels nice.
Tuesday's Lotto Max jackpot is an estimated $20 million. Why dream to the min when you can dream to the max?
At Sleep Country, we know the importance of a good pillow. With back sleepers, stomach sleepers, and even hot sleepers, finding the perfect pillow is possible. Come in for a personalized pillow fitting, and our sleep experts can find one that's just right for you. Right now, buy one of our best-selling pillows and get a second one free. But hurry, for a limited time only. Restrictions may apply. See in-store or online. Sleep well, stay well, Sleep Country.
McDavid, Stutzla, Matthews, Crosby, Forsberg, Bedard.
This kid is out of this world.
Who will be next?
Can you believe it?
Hockey history begins at the World Juniors, December 26th to January 5th on TSN.
The world is changing, and Upskills for Work Get Started resources can help you adapt, learn new skills, and build confidence. Get Started is free and easy to use. Improve your skills for work and life. Get started today at upskillsforwork.ca.
Our scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. One of the game in progress right now. Capitals 2-1 over the Bruins. That's midway through the second period. Later on at 3 o'clock, Canadiens in Vegas against the Golden Knights. Oh, they win the lottery. Nice New Year's Eve there. Blues in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Later on tonight, Sabres in Dallas, Nashville in Minnesota, Utah visiting Edmonton, Flyers in San Jose, Hurricanes in Columbus, Jets in Colorado, Penguins in Detroit, Devils visiting the Ducks, and the Canucks and the Flames will battle as well. And a reminder, World Junior Hockey coverage tonight, Team Canada against Team USA, 7:30 on TSN 1050. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and wherever you find a podcast on the Leafs Radio Network.
Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you covered this college football season.
The college football playoff action continues with Penn State taking on Boise State in the second round this weekend. Can Penn State keep it rolling after a big win over SMU, or Genty and the Broncos prove to be too much for them to handle? Make sure you tune in to Sports Grid Radio to stay up to date on all the latest.
The place to get the winning edge over the sports books this football season is Sports Grid Radio. Channel 159 in the car and on the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Vegas Golden Knights head coach Bruce Cassidy.
What gets you excited when you see their team, really starting to function at a high level?
Now you're bringing new guys in and creating a culture for them. I have always enjoyed that, enjoyed it in Boston, love it here. Two organizations with great culture and winning sort of attitudes, and we're seeing some young guys getting a little more responsibility and handling it.
Cheers, hockey fans, Leafs fans, insiders. Happy New Year to you. 2024 is done. Today's the last Leafs game of this year, and we're going to be back in 2025, and we're going to have a heck of a year. But I wanted to just take a minute to let you guys know about our football frenzy. As you see, tonight we're live for Penn State and Boise State in the college football playoffs. And we're running our SickKids Hospital football frenzy because of the successes that we saw in October with the MLB playoffs, raising over $3,500. Take it away, Joe. We got a special message from Mr. Joe Bowen.
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, thank you for helping us raise money for SickKids Hospital as we heal the future.
Go Leafs, go! Thank you for helping us heal the future.
Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
An afternoon game on New Year's Eve, and we want to wish all of our listeners a very, very happy and healthy New Year, and hopefully 2025 is a hell of a lot better than 2024.
Or 23.
Or 22.
When it was COVID started.
Yeah, COVID started.
Which war did things turn around in?
One of my most memorable New Year's Eves was I was a young man. My dad had passed away a couple of years previous, 1967. The National Football League championship game played at Green Bay, Wisconsin. It was minus 13 Fahrenheit, minus 48 Fahrenheit with the wind chill.
The Ice Bowl?
Ice Bowl, and Bart Starr snuck in. But the story is my buddy had quit high school and was working at Inco. My uncle had given me a $100 bill for Christmas, and a lot of money in those days. Anyway, my buddy who was working was a Dallas Cowboy fan, and he bet me. Put his hand out. We're going to bet $100 on the game. I thought he'd pull his hand away, but once we shook, I know that was it. So I locked myself in the basement. My mother thought I was having a complete fit, screaming and hollering at the TV. And when Bart Starr snuck it in with 13 seconds left, I vowed I would never wager again.
Now
and I haven't.
Did he pay?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Good for him.
Yep. That was even more surprising. Here, the Islanders moving right to left on your radio dial. Can't get it out. The Leafs turn the puck over. Look for a man in front of the net. Nice stick handling crew. Had it knocked away at the last second by Romanov. Islanders bring it back down in on the Leaf zone. Cizikas into the right wing corner. Tied up there by Anthony, or losing it was Anthony Duclair. But a turnover now, and the Leafs in trouble here. Shot, Pat, saving a beauty. Made there by Wall. Another shot, scores! Wall makes the save, but the Leafs don't help him out with the rebound. And it was Nylander who had the puck roll off his stick. And the Islanders from the blue line snap it home, and I think it's Adam Pelech who's going to get credit for the goal.
And Willie Nylander, it was actually, Joe, 2 giveaways. The second one rolled off his stick. He threw away the first one in the corner before that when he tried to play it off the boards, hit a skate. And then there was the big rebound. Boy, and the Leafs are trying to make life miserable for the Islanders. They're going to challenge it. It was offside coming into the zone.
All right.
And I think this goal just sailed right through anybody. I don't think it hit anybody. Cizikas didn't touch it in front. But we shall see. We're waiting to get a replay now of the Islanders' entry into the Leafs zone.
So it's the boys in the video room are having a look at it. And the Leafs video crew has been pretty darn good at this, I have to admit.
Well, right now, what we're getting is everyone else looking at the video.
Yeah,
we haven't seen
now
the
we're
video.
going to get the...
Okay, it's Duclair carrying the puck over. Oh, it's outside.
Yes, it is. Yep.
During the play was deemed the play was offside. Please reset the clock at 19:35.
Well, Jordan Bean, Sam Kim, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed.
Yes, Anthony Duclair just in coming over the Leaf line. When guys make that extra move, right? Kind of a little backhand, forehand move to come over the line, enough to hold the puck up. And there's the offside.
You know what would be interesting to watch? And I don't think anybody has ever done this on television. I've never seen it played out. But have a camera in where those guys are watching. And then say, okay, you got the offside, I'll watch. And then you have, because they obviously had to replay that while play was still going on. As the centering pass here comes into the slot area and it's knocked back to the blue line. A drive wide of the Leaf goal is corralled by the Leafs. Played into the corner and up on the wing, but not out. And it's shot around the far side. I'd love to see what they do and how it is orchestrated on each entry, right? It's got to be every entry and every...
What'll happen, though, is they'll say, oh, we missed the offside because we used the camera to put on us.
Smile.
we got to grease the budget here.
play the long ball. It'd be nice if a lot of people increased budgets. Back to the point it comes now. Here's George trying to get a shot away as it goes wide of the net into the near corner. The Leafs have been hemmed in their own end since not giving up a goal. There's a shot right on. Stop, rebound. Shot over top of the goal. Wall is down and not getting up real quickly, but now he's back on his skates. One of the Leafs has broken a stick. It's Marner. Puck into the far corner for the Islanders. Centering pass. Blocked and shot down the ice. It'll be an icing.
Is Wall hurt? He seems to be laboring and now leaning over the top of the Leaf net.
Well, we're keeping an eye on it. He's not doing an awful lot over there. He's stretching a little bit, having a little drink of water.
Yeah, it was that last play with a little bit of traffic in front. The puck was chipped over top of the net.
Dennis Hildeby has been brought up, and as the Leafs play a little exchange in the goaltending room. Here are the Islanders keeping the puck in, back to the points. Swept by Romanov to the far wing. The Leafs are able to push it out at center, but it's going to be out of the reach of Tavares. He'll go down after it into the far corner, though. Tavares trying to work out, now gets it back to the point, just kept in by Timmins. Long shot, eye-high gloved by Sorokin, and he's going to hold on.
Now, here's an interesting stat when you look at the New York Islanders, Joey. Since 2016, they've made the playoffs 6 times. Eliminated in the first round twice, second round twice, conference finals twice. But in those 6 years they were eliminated, it was only by Carolina or Tampa.
Real.
Those are the 2 teams they couldn't beat to move on.
Can you say Boston Bruins?
Yes. I'd rather say Ottawa Senators, but
no, yes.
That goes the other way.
Down into the corner in the lead zone. Domi and Timmins trying to get to it. Domi does, but his pass comes off a skate, kept in by Pelech. Pelech will play it into the corner and then rattled off the boards by the Leafs out at center ice.
They're going to need something from this line, I think, tonight, Joe, to move on. The Domi line, be a difference maker.
Played out at center, and Domi has it with one man back. Domi in over the line, going to shoot it. That went off the blocker of Sorokin easily. Out back of the Islander goal. Leafs are changing as Lorentz goes into the forecheck a little bit here. Adam Pelech plays it to an open wing, and the Islanders going back to restore it. Lorentz misses man with a hit. Reeves is able to keep it in, and it is going to be rattled around the boards by this fourth line to keep it down into the corner. Myers pinches, but couldn't get his skate on it. And Connor Dewar backing up the pinch makes a good play to get it restored, and the Leafs break it now in over the line. Going to flip it high into the right wing corner. Dewar gets there first to play it around back of the net for Reeves. Reeves tips it back to the blue line. Tanev couldn't do much more than backhand it again into the far corner. Grabbed by Dewar. Back it goes to Nyes. Nyes on a player change. Gets it back to the point. Tanev with a pass in. Oh, and a nice redirect by Nyes. But an equally good save by Ilya Sorokin.
Another great almost set up by Chris Tanev.
Here's Nylander now, working in, dropping back for Nyes, shooting! Rebound, stop! Rebound, scores! Nyes follows up his own rebound, and the Leafs have a 2-0 lead. But is Willie Nylander in on top of the goalkeeper? The Islanders may be looking at this themselves.
Yeah, Sorokin had a conversation with the referee after it went in. Nylander dropped the puck to Nyes and went to the net. And he is in the blue paint, Joe. And I would not doubt that the Islanders, I mean, especially with the fact that they've had trouble scoring goals, I mean, Willie Nylander has got a skate on either side of the right pad of Sorokin.
Challenging the play for goaltender interference prior to the goal.
And I think they're going to win this.
I do too.
And there was a goal last night. The Rangers had already used their challenge in Florida. And Shesterkin in that game, Joe, had the puck under his left pad on the post. He got speared. His left pad got speared. It spun him around. The puck came out. And they scored. Couldn't challenge because they'd already used their challenge and weren't successful with it.
So the referees, Pierre Lambert and Gordon Skilleter, are viewing this.
But see, now the one thing you could say is, was he pushed in by the Islander defenseman? And the defenseman was Romanov. That kind of latches on to Nylander, and there aren't a lot of places for Nylander to go. He pulls up. Well, he doesn't pull up completely.
This will be interesting. They're showing the goal on the screen, and here we go.
Reviewing the play was determined there was goaltender interference. Therefore, ice overturned, no goal.
All right, all's fair. 11 Warren video reviews. Still a great play off the rush, but yeah, Nylander goes in and turns, and there's no way that Sorokin can get over. And we're not saying he would have been able to, but it never gave him a chance. So I think the right call on both what we've seen.
How many goals do you think were scored on you that would have been video review and called back?
I'm going to say at least a dozen could have been icing. Remember the old two-line pass?
Yeah.
A few of those.
Yeah. Anders Lee gets it down into the Islander zone. Icing, that's a tough call, though. I mean, you don't know whether to let it go or not.
Yeah.
Played down into the Toronto zone.
You're going, technically, it crossed the goal line.
Yeah, that's right.
The letter of the rule.
Exactly. We're going to get an icing here against Toronto. And I almost had it, too.
Had my arm up and everything.
Everything, yeah. Goalies always used to do that, right? To give the defenseman an idea that it's going to be icing, sure.
That's one of the coolest things about playing goal is being able to do that. Like, you knew. You're just telling your defenseman, hey, I see what the linesman's got his arm up. And now you got the hybrid icing, so just skate as hard as you can and hope you hear a whistle.
Draw one by the Islanders. Back to the point. George took a shot right on. Big rebound in front. Good play there. Leafs defenseman Jake McCabe tied up Palmieri and didn't allow him a rebound chance in front of the net. Islanders back in their own zone. Launch it out at center. Leafs lead 1-0 here. In the period, we've had 2 goals, one by each team, reversed by video review. Puck in the center, in the slot area, dropped back for Pelech, played into the corner, lost to Tavares. Tavares plays to an open wing. Pacioretty trying to get to the line, but couldn't get to center to shoot it in, but rolled it into the zone, and Tavares is onto it again. Tavares coming out of the corner, has it on his stick, still with it as he works back to the blue line, trying to get to the forehand, and he dished it off there to Riley, who shot it wide. Riley with it on the left point, shot blocked away by Sorokin. Kept alive by Tavares, back of the net. Boy, Tavares is so good along the boards, isn't he?
I mean, this whole sequence is started by him getting it on the forecheck.
And a drop pass made by Myers came all the way back out into the center ice area, and Marner had to go back for it. Now, Myers, a bank pass deflects down into Islander territory, allowing the Leafs to get a change of players going. Toronto won, the Islanders no score. Off a stick, it's gone high into the Toronto end. Tanev is able to play it along the boards, but not chipped ahead then for Domi. Into the near corner with Tanev getting there first. Got it up on the boards for Robertson. Now Tanev gets it freed up again, and it is McCabe finding Domi on the right side. Offside, says the linesman. As Robertson was breaking through the middle and may have been a half stride early trying to get into the zone. The Leafs with a 1-0 lead on a goal by David Camp in the first period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hey, insiders and hockey fans all over the world. Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon as we close out 2024 and get ready for a huge 2025. Thanks so much for being here. Please let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Are you downtown Toronto? Are you out in Lake Country? Are you out in Manitoba, Alberta, BC? Are you in the USA or somewhere else all over this crazy globe? Please let us know in the chat. Send that flag emoji out there. Let's see lots of Canadian flags as well as international. Hey, some of you might be in 2025 right now. Thanks for hanging out with us. Go Leafs, go! Happy New Year.
Acapulco. Ooh, remember Acapulco? Family dinners by the ocean, building sandcastles, pure joy. Welcome to the happy I've been waiting for. Book with your local travel expert or at
StellaVacations.com.
TSN and TSN Plus take you courtside, showcasing the NBA's biggest stars.
Bang! Steph Curry. Oh, blocked by James.
From opening tip through the NBA Finals,
Anything's possible.
the NBA lives on TSN and TSN Plus.
Boxing Week is on now at Walmart. Save 33% on an assorted 5-pack of Hot Wheels cars. Now only $5.97. Plus, you can save even more with the tax break on now. Walmart. Save money. Live better.
1-0 Toronto. 13:35 to play second period, sorry. Outside the Islander blue line, sorry.
I believe since 2000, the Islanders have only had 2 top 3 picks since 2000. They were Rick DiPietro and John Tavares. So 2000 and 2009.
Are they still paying Rick DiPietro? That contract went on forever.
I think he and Bobby Bonilla are on the same.
Yes.
On the same payment plan.
Down into the Leaf zone it goes. Riley corralling in the far corner. Got it ahead, but out of the reach of Bobby McMahon. Islanders turn back up ice and bring it in over the line. McLean with a shot that has deflected up into the screen. And play is stopped with a face-off coming in the Toronto zone.
One great thing about seeing the New York Islanders come to town is seeing Butch Goring.
Yes.
Who many people blame for having trade deadline shows.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe the greatest acquisition ever at the trade deadline.
Yep. Well, yeah, it was because of that.
Yep.
And now, I don't believe that they won the cup the year they got him.
Yes.
Or was it the
yes.
following year?
I believe they did. Yeah. And then they went on the roll, right?
4 in a row?
Yep. Barzal with a shot to the net, deflected wide of the goal. It's back of the goal, and Tanev is down and hurt.
Boy, did that catch Tanev?
It must have. He's up and skating back to the bench. But he's going to go in for repairs and head to the dressing room.
In typical Chris Tanev fashion, just takes his helmet off. It's like he either spit out his mouth guard or some teeth.
Well,
Jake McCabe's already done that.
Yeah. Ice crew's out cleaning up some blood or whatever. It wasn't a lot on the ice, but
boy,
he is a warrior, though, isn't he? My goodness.
And I mean, this is tough because Anders Lee just moves out of the way at the last second, catches Tanev in the face. He doesn't miss a stride.
The gum comes out, though. The gum came out.
Yeah, covered in blood. I mean, he ended up looking like a character in a video game, didn't he? Just, all right, now I got to... guys, hold on. I'll be a couple minutes here.
Yeah. Trying to drag things out for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back.
Surprised he didn't apologize to the Islander bench for the delay.
Now a turnover in the Leaf zone. Pad save made by Wall. That was a dangerous pass that went off a stick, and then a great opportunity in front. Pajot ringing the boards around to the far side. The Islanders have been the better team here in the second period territorially as they play it around back of the net. Matthew Barzal drops it back to Pelech at the point. He can't shoot it, gives it back to Barzal. Barzal twists and turns, top of the circle, near side with a shot in traffic, blocked again. This time it was Jake McCabe who gets up limping a little bit as Marner is able to play it down into the Islander zone.
Jake McCabe, Joe, that turned the puck over off the faceoff.
Islanders and a penalty coming to Toronto. Tavares taking down Pelech as the Islanders bring it in on the right side. Extra man on the ice now. Down low, a shot hits the side of the goal. It'll be touched by Nylander, and John Tavares is going to get a holding call here. And the Islanders, who Jimmy already alluded to, 11 of 96. 32nd best power play in the league. And it's only 32nd because there aren't 33 teams.
And, of course, if you're a Leaf fan, that does nothing but scare the hell out of you. And that's why it was obviously, though, a benefit when the Islanders came in here a few games ago and won 6-3. There were no power plays. Boy, this was an easy dive by Pelech. I mean, the stick is sort of across the thighs, and Pelech decides he's going to get the Speedos pulled up and out to the edge of the board, and down he went.
Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Leafs on the penalty kill. Near boards for Palmieri. Palmieri trying to drop it into the slot, had it knocked away. Camp unable to clear, but he gets it to his defenseman, and Timmins sends it the rest of the way down the ice for him. Leafs exchange one penalty killing forward. Marner steals the puck, and he almost got around the last defender as Palmieri took it away from him, or he was 10 feet from the net. Siplikov to the right wing side, closing pad save, and the rebound was knocked away. Good save there by Wall. Leafs get it ahead, and it is David Camp skating it out at center and now playing it off the boards and down the ice, and wholesale changes for the Leaf penalty killers comes as a result. Second unit coming over the boards for the Islanders.
Islanders are on a stretch of 8 games, 0 for 16. After 3 for 35 in their last 16
Barzal
games.
to Horvat, curling in on goal, smothered there by Wall. The puck is still free. Anders Lee poking away at it, but the whistle had gone, and Wall comes up with the save.
Never look down at your notes when you think nothing's happened.
That's broadcast 101. Is that it?
I don't know. I never went.
You were enrolled. You just didn't attend.
I wasn't accepted. I shouldn't even be here. Was Horvat stuck in. Joseph Wall did a good job slamming the pads together. Horvat trying to tuck it through on the back end.
Islanders win the face-off. Dobson getting it off on the left wing side. Here's Barzal trying to center. No, goes back of the net. Gets it back to the point. Dobson with it to the right wing side. Looking back on the bank. Duclair gets it back to him. Now into the slot to Barzal on the near half boards, and a pass in, and Lee couldn't redirect it in front of the net. Anders Lee back of the goal with it now. Gets it back into the corner. Duclair gets it back to the point. Here's Dobson with a shot blocked in front. Still free. Down is Wall, and Joseph Wall gets the oven mitts on it. And he will hold on for a face-off in the Toronto zone with 27 seconds remaining in the power play for the New York Islanders.
All right. A lot of this period has been played down at the Leaf end of the ice. Even though the shots are, 9-7? Favor the New York Islanders. The Leafs just really, you're thinking maybe 2 shifts thanks to John Tavares. The Leafs have had offensive zone time in this period.
Draw one by Toronto. Timmins with a chance to clear, and he makes no mistake sending it the length of the rink. 20 seconds left in the penalty. Dobson curling out, moving right to left on your radio dial as it's played up ahead and to the line, broken up by the Leafs. Racing after it now is the Leafs. Lorenz, he couldn't find anybody, now has it in the corner, couldn't drag it out in front of the net. Barzal took it away from him, and then Lorenz took it right back, and it comes out, coming out of the penalty box. Tavares, he almost wiped out Connor Timmins with the puck right there, and it goes all the way back into the Leaf end. But the Leafs kill off the penalty. Now Domi in across the line. Couldn't find Nylander. Nylander unable to pry it away, and Siplikov comes through neutral ice for the Islanders. In on the right side, trying to roll it back. It's cleared to the line, but not out. Kept alive by Pulock, who gets in along the boards and back of the net. Played back to the blue line. Nelson trying to keep it alive and does. Ryan Pulock sends it around back of the net. Islanders sweeping it in front. Oh, what a chance that was. And it's still in front of the goal as the Leafs now take it to safety. Nylander trying to play it out, but it was knocked down almost with a high stick. Pulock's going to rattle it around the boards, and Riley will find it on the far side. Riley to Myers. Myers ahead for Nylander. Nylander at the red line. Didn't get much on the flip in, but the Islanders are going to get an easy opportunity to clear it, and they'll deflect it down into the Toronto zone. Timmins has to hustle back, but he gets overwhelmed there by Cizikas, who plays it around to the near boards. Islanders get it into the corner. Cizikas pushing it up on the wall, kept alive by Isaiah George as it goes around to the far point. A long shot deflects wide of the Leaf goal. Now back of the net, Leafs with possession, but nowhere to go with it. And they're hemmed in their own end again. Puck at the side of the goal. Still free. Knocked by Horvat into the corner. Bo Horvat for the Islanders now to Zizekas, pinned to the boards by Myers. They battled for it along the wall. Domi couldn't get to it initially, and then it is stolen back by Bobby McMahon, and he's going to get it out. And that's a big play. The Leafs will get a few exchanged here as the Islanders try to take advantage of it, though. In on the left wing for Pajot. Pass to the left wing side, blocked by a sprawling play there by Jake McCabe. Big block there by the Leaf defenseman. Horvat dropping it back again, and a centering pass. They score. Pajot. It was a matter of time. The Islanders are finally rewarded for some solid zone time. No chance for Joseph Wall on this pass, and we're tied at a goal.
Pajot, with the Islanders controlling the play, simply backed out of the mass of players in front of Joseph Wall. Great pass, great execution, but the Leafs had 5 players watching the puck. And Anders Lee makes, I believe it was Lee, was it not, that made the pass from the right wing circle to Pajot on the other side. But Pajot was smart, or pardon me, no, it was the defenseman Dobson that had jumped down.
I thought it was Lee as well.
Dobson's 20th point of the season. Each team has had a goal called back in this game, but the Islanders have been the better team.
9th goal by Pajot. Leafs breaking in and scores! Lorenz! Remember the part about not looking at your notes?
You got it, though.
I did. I'm glad you poked me.
Steven Lorenz.
Right off the face-off.
What a huge goal this is. Leafs out of their own zone, and Lorenz one-hands it around the New York Islander defenseman. Then walks in and rifles this over the left shoulder and under the crossbar. As the Leafs very quickly, it was Scott Mayfield was the Islander defenseman. Steven Lorenz just one-hands it past the defenseman, picks it up, and then lets it go from above the hash marks over the shoulder of Sorokin.
16 seconds apart are the 2 goals. So the Leafs' 1-goal lead is restored. Reeves gets the puck out. The Islanders bring it back in offside. And there'll be a face-off in neutral ice with 7:20 to play in the period. I'm busy writing down Dobson, and then all of a sudden, whammo. Things are going in the other. What a great move he makes, though, around Scott Mayfield. So the Leafs are back in front, 2-1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
On Sirius XM's Radio Classics.
What's up, insiders? How we doing tonight? It's not night. It's a day game. What is this business? New Year's Eve, we should be playing at night, but I guess with USA Canada going on and the college football playoffs, the Leafs players and management wanted to celebrate tonight, so they thought they'd get the game out of the way early. Thank you for being here. Please hit that like button down below, and let's get more hockey fans, more Leafs fans here into this awesome community where we raise money for SickKids Hospital every single game. Thank you for helping us heal the future. Thank you for hitting the like button, and as well, share this link out. Put it on the social boards, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. The more people that see a link out there that get brought over here, the more that YouTube likes it. Thank you, and happy 2024 coming to an end. All the best. Be safe tonight, and let's ring in 2025 in style.
24/7 Hockey Talk.
When it comes to Austin Matthews and Quinn Hughes, at what point do you think do the Leafs and the Canucks talk with their star players about Four Nations?
You got to think that conversation has to happen. And if they have to pull out of Four Nations, so be it. Yes, they want to represent their country and want to be best on that. Next season, we got the Olympics, and you could focus on that in terms of representing your nation.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favorite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Wendell Clark in the building, handing out a jersey to a member of the Armed Forces as we salute our Armed Forces on a regular basis here at Scotiabank Arena. And the Maple Leafs back in front, 2-1. Lorenz from Reeves is the scoring play that came 16 seconds after Pajot had scored his 9th of the season to tie the game.
His 4th of the season, scored by number 18.
In the game against Washington, it was the opposite. Whenever the Leafs had scored, Washington would answer back.
Connor Dewar is also getting an assist on the goal. Now here are the Islanders getting it to the line. For Lorenz, that's his 4th goal of the season. He leads the 4th line players in goal scoring. Reeves, that's his 2nd point of the season.
But for Lorenz, it's his 1st goal in 24 games.
Back to the point, Islanders keeping it in. Left wing side, a shot blockered away nicely by Wall. Off the stick there of Romanov. Islanders back at the Leaf goal again with Duclair coming out of centering pass. Oh, what a great save that was by Wall. Set up in front of the net. The Leafs counter. They're in across the line with Robertson to the left wing side. Back it goes, and a shot whistled wide by Bobby McMahon. Another shot pad save made by Sorokin. Myers with a shot that deflected just wide. Nylander in the far corner. Nylander trying to outmuscle a couple of players to get it back along the boards for Nyes. Nyes again with it, and the Islanders finally are able to come away with it. Romanov gives the puck away though. Here's Myers back into the corner. Leafs trying to cycle the puck a bit. Camp back to the point to McCabe. McCabe with a shot and a glove save to stop play made by Ilya Sorokin. 5:53 to play in the 2nd period. Leafs 2, the Islanders 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties.
Hey you, the insider that's watching with us, cheering on our Leafs on New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. I hope you have a great night and an even better 2025. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're popping that champagne tonight regardless, but I think we're going to hit 68,000 tonight with the football game and Canada-USA tonight. What a day we have here on TSI. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for being an insider and hanging out with us every single night. And if you haven't done that yet, please hit the subscribe button and help us on our way to 68,000 before the end of the year. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
Cracking the code on vacation savings so you can crack open that SPF.
Huh, that makes so much financial sense.
Book with your local travel advisor or at...
The Sport Check Boxing Day event is on now. Take 20 to 60% off store-wide on the top brands in sport. Sale ends January 1st. See in-store or sportcheck.ca for more details. Some exclusions may apply. Sport Check. Say it with sport.
It's a quick assessment at the pharmacy. It's the nearly 100,000 nurses hired since 2018. It's care, when and where you need it. See all the ways we're connecting you to care at ontario.ca/yourhealth. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Face-off coming in the Islanders zone. Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph, Jim Taddy, and Anthony Stewart will be along during our intermission. Owen Hall is producing, and Chris Horvat is pretending he's running the operation, and Josh Lippa is here doing absolutely nothing.
Jim Taddy doing double duties.
Yes, he's double dipping today, isn't he?
They'll be doing the World Juniors tonight. This game feels like Canada, Latvia, Canada, Germany, doesn't it? Where you're going.
A face-off one, and a quick shot by Nylander was blockered away by Sorokin.
They're doing okay, but shouldn't it be better?
Yes. Down the boards, Camp keeps it alive. Nyes gets his man to miss him. Tried to play it back to the point. There's Chris Tanev back into the game, and his wrist shot just missed. It's a little tardy, don't you think? He missed almost 4 or 5 minutes of game time. I'll have a word.
Toughen up.
Slapped in by McCabe. Puck along the board, centering pass. Nylander just had it out of his reach. Now one of the Islanders' sticks is broken. Leafs trying to take advantage of that. They flip it into the slot area on the wing for Nylander. He doesn't shoot it. Willie now trying to Drop it off, and Tavares cycling the puck. Tavares to Nylander. Nylander cross ice for Riley. Riley back to Nylander. Nylander drops for Riley. Riley looks in front, but his shot hit the side of the goal. Centering pass by Nyes was blocked. He has it back of the goal now. Left wing side, the Leafs now trying to really tire things out as the shot is kicked away there by Sorokin. Played off the boards and out and down the ice. Icing will be the call. That group's going to have to stay on for the Islanders. And the face-off will come in the New York zone.
Can you ever imagine altering the rule that if you ice the puck when one of your guys has a broken stick, he's
can't get a new stick.
Can't get a new stick.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Well, right now we like it. Can you imagine? Or if the goalie lost his glove or something, sorry, bud.
Sorry, bud, you're going to have to play without the mask until we can get a stoppage of play correctly.
We're going to place it at center ice.
Yeah.
Until then.
Draw one by the Leafs. They poke it into the corner for Pacioretty. Played around back of the net, cut off by Pajot. Tavares got it freed up for Marner, who gets it back to the blue line. McCabe gives it back to him. Marner top of the circles with a shot in traffic that went wide. Pacioretty with it, back to the blue line to McCabe, quickly to Timmins. Timmins on the wing for Marner. Marner steers it in for Tavares. Tavares with a shot. That hit a leg, and the Islanders break out now with Siplikov. He had it taken away, and the Leafs have it again, just playing it through center ice and down to the Islander blue line. New York back organizing with 3:56 to go in the second period, and the Leafs leading 2-1. Siplikov sends it in wide of the Toronto goal. Into the corner goes Benoit to get it back to the net from McMahon. He gets it on the wing, but Timmins' pass was intercepted. It's brought back in by New York. Broken up then by Robertson. Robertson to Domi, and Domi is out at center. Domi giving it back to Robertson with one man back. A little move, and then he kind of got stumbling there a little bit. The backhand went well wide of the goal. Islanders get it back inside the Leaf zone, and then a penalty coming as Benoit was hooked to the ice. Shot down into the Islander zone. And the Leafs are going to go to the power play here on a tripping call.
I think that might have actually kicked the back of his skate.
And that's the call, is a trip. So the Leafs go to their second power play opportunity, brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter to the fullest with the symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today.
Simon Benoit was in full spin cycle, wasn't he? Paul Mary clicks him, sort of just kicks the back of his right skate to knock Benoit down, and not a smart penalty to take. It's a long way from your own net. But a huge opportunity here for the Leafs.
Whose power play's got to look better this time against the Islanders for sure. As we mentioned, New York, worst penalty kill in the league. They've given up 29 goals in 79 opportunities coming into the game. Nylander gives the puck away. Pajot bringing it back in on the right side, winds and shoots, and it's high and wide, and the puck comes back down into the near boards, and now Marner starting out with it. Marner carries the puck to the line and in, dishes off to Tavares. Tavares against the boards, double teamed over there by the Islanders, but the Leafs get it freed up. It's going to slide into the neutral zone, and Riley has to get on his horse to get back, and now it's offside on a close play at the blue line on a short-handed rush by the Islanders. Brock Nelson was just a half stride early getting in.
And 42 seconds in, Craig Bruba's seen enough of the power play, and the second unit is going to come out. Kind of the amazing thing, I know we brought this up the last time the Islanders were in, so now, including the penalty they've already taken today, they've been shorthanded 80 times. The Leafs have been shorthanded 119 times. I don't know how. I mean, that's more than one a game. More.
Yep.
And not saying that it's not warranted. It's just kind of a
odd.
Odd step.
So the Leafs with the puck in their own zone, and 1:04 to go in the power play. McCabe got it off the stick down into the Islander zone, swung around the boards, trapped at the blue line by Domi on a good play to keep it in. McMahon along the boards. It comes back to the blue line, and now Domi will work down the right wing boards. Half court's down behind the net for Pacioretty. Pacioretty carries to the far corner. No one in front of the net. Fouls into the near corner to Domi. Domi getting it back to the blue line. Bobby McMahon is in front of the goal. Domi down low. Pacioretty trying to center. Got it to the side of the goal, but no further. Sorokin has the glove on it and will hold on for a face-off coming in the Islanders zone.
And now we get a third unit coming up. It's Tavares, Nyes. Well, I thought for a moment, I thought it was David Kampf was going to come out as well, but
no, Marner is there.
Yeah, it's back to the first unit. 32 seconds to go here in this power play. 1:45 to go in the second period.
Tavares will take the face-off. And wins it. Marner pushes it back to the blue line to Riley. Return to Marner. Back to Riley, middle of the ice at the blue line. Back to Marner, who circles in. Now the shot coming wide. The rebound on the side of the goal. Tavares couldn't tip it. Played back by Nylander, but Tavares wasn't expecting it. Pajot now along the boards. Nylander gets it back to the point. Near side it comes to Marner. Marner works down the boards, getting it back to Riley, just kept in. Morgan Riley looks across ice, but no one there. He walks the line with it. Now to the right wing side, in front for Tavares, and he fanned on it completely. The penalty is over. Leafs need to get a defenseman on, and Marner, realizing it, goes to the bench. Nyes, back of the goal for Nylander. Nylander coming out of the corner, back towards the blue line, back into the slot area. Tavares centering pass, and Tavares didn't get the shot away. He's arguing that he was held, I believe, by Pajot. Now Nyes in on the left wing with a drive, and that went high over top of the goal. Kept in by Reeves. Leafs fourth line coming over the boards. Into the corner now. Centering pass for Reeves. Didn't work. And out come the Islanders. Nope, they're going to circle back, actually. And Pajot hoping to get a change of players going with 30 seconds left in the period. Shot into the Toronto zone. Chris Tanev is there again to get it ahead. Dewar skates it up on the wing. Lorenz gets it the rest of the way into the zone. Reeves drives his man into the corner boards. The puck along the wall, and Reeves is there with a dozen seconds left in the period. Timmins trying to keep it in. Lorenz tried to get a shot away. Blocked in front. Grabbed by Brock Nelson and carried to center with 3 seconds left in the period, and that'll do it. So we had some goal scoring, and then we had goals taken away. One by each team by video review. One for offside, one for goalie interference. And Pajot scores from Dobson at 11:59 to tie the game. 16 seconds later, Lorenz from Reeves and Dewar. And the fourth line gives the Leafs the lead back at the end of 2.
That's what you were saying a little earlier. You're not a betting man?
Nope.
I don't know if many people would have said, hey, this is the night that David Kampf and Steven Lorenz are both going to score goals, as we mentioned. Kampf now 2 in his last 3 games, scored his first of the year in Detroit not long ago, and for Steven Lorenz, that is his first in 23 games for the Leafs.
Leafs with 14 shots in the period, the Islanders with a dozen, and it is a 2-1 Toronto lead after 40 minutes of play. Jim Taddy, Anthony Stewart coming your way. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on the SiriusXM app and talk about all the EPL drama on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What is it about we can't fully buy into Stuart Skinner?
Did you hear much uproar when he wasn't selected for Four Nations? Like people go, oh, wait a second. What about the guy who took the Oilers to the Stanley Cup final and won 7 games against the Panthers? Nobody was talking about that. You know,
What's up, Insiders? We're heading to the third period with the lead. Gotta love it. We're getting it done today, buds. Let's go. Knock on some wood. Let's have a good third period. All right, good big shout outs there. Southern Alberta, Carmen in the chat. Good to see you, Carmen. MM, you rock. Thanks for hanging out with us. There's Shadow. I thought you were going to the ECHL game, bro. I used to work for the Florida Everblades back when I was in college. The dynasty, the three-peat Florida Everblades. That's right. What's up? You want to come in and say hi?
Yeah.
Bella's going to come in and say hi.
Oh, I look ginger.
Yeah, you do look like a ginger in this light. All right, Bella wanted to come in and say hi.
Bye.
Now she's leaving. All right. What do we got here in the third period? Who's scoring next for our Buds? I think Willie's going to get it. He's so close. He's looking good in this period. And we were doing a little bit of testing there. So I apologize for a little bit of the interruptions there in that period. I noticed I was getting some error messages here on YouTube. But we're running some testing. We have 2 consoles online gaming right now playing Fortnite. We have like 6 phones hooked up. We have a guy working on stuff upstairs, finishing up the renovations. Big shout out to Alex. Alex has been awesome. If anybody in the Chicagoland area needs a recommendation on a great contractor, let me know. There you go, Edson from Brazil. Good to see you. Lots of fun here. New Year's Eve, what a day we have. It's going to be a long day of sports. We've got the Leafs right now. I got to go start the Raptors stream in just a minute here. And as well, then we have the 2 games that are going to be insane tonight. I just have a feeling that both games are going to be nuts. Of course, Canada, United States. Nothing better than New Year's Eve, Canada and the U.S. battling it out in the World Junior Hockey Championships. We'll be live. There you go. Josh, Happy New Year there from Vancouver. My grandma lives in Vancouver. Very cool. Zoen just subscribed. Thank you. Appreciate it, Zoen. Much appreciated. There's Antonio. Good to see you, Antonio. Hey, Pike. Happy New Year, man. Appreciate it. Dude, you're awesome, Pike. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being an insider. Same goes. Sick Whips, Patrick G, Victor, Mark, all of you guys. There's Richard Fewer. Happy New Year's, Richard. Good to see you, man. Richard has been here since day one. And I will have to share this. I will have to share this screen because I want to show you guys the rise of subscribers, insiders, you guys. All of these new people finding our awesome community. There's Brim, says, call me out, Mike. Brimhawk, the man. Thank you for letting me know about the Raptor stream the other day. Dude, I was walking inside in the rain, carrying groceries, and I'm like, my phone started going off. I thought it was the snooze from the previous live, so I'm just like, stop. Totally forgot about the Raptors, man. So thank you. If that happens again, if the stream doesn't start on time and there's another TSI stream in there, y'all let me know. I appreciate it. Now let's get back to the intermission report. There is Sandra Berube. Happy New Year, Sandra. Carrie, thanks for joining us today. Jessica Bernard, Happy New Year's, everyone. Go Leafs, go. Thanks for hanging out with us, Jessica. Pierre. There's Pierre. What a guy. Pierre LaBelle. Any bets today, Pierre? I need the Leafs to win to start my parlay out right. I did a parlay for all of the games today. I've got the Raptors winning, or the Raptors not winning, excuse me. I've got the Leafs winning, the Raptors losing to the Celtics, Penn State winning the football game, and Canada beating the United States tonight. And that will take my $10 and turn it into like 85. Woo! Big money! Are you an Everblades fan? Yes, I am. I saw your comment come over there. There. Let's go, Mavs. F the Everblades and the Thunder. Hey, haters gonna hate, okay? Haters are gonna hate. When you win championships like the Everblades have, when you change the league like the Everblades did when they started back in 1998, and me and my mama were sitting in section 107, I believe it was. Anyways, I could go on for a long time. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Let's get back to the hockey. Cheers. Cheers to all of you.
You know, I was going back and checking up his hockey DB, and that was a goal scorer's goal, and he did score 23 goals for the Charlotte Checkers in 61 games about 4 or 5 seasons ago. So when he gets the opportunity to put the puck in the net, he's shown some flashes of brilliance. So, again, the fourth line, again, the chances have been few and far between throughout the season, but when they come in and they add a little bit of more element of scoring to the goal sheet, it just makes this team a lot deeper, and through 40 minutes, they've had a great game.
Well, perfect timing, and that comes after the Islanders are tied at 1 on a really good, zone pressure play.
A great job. And we talked about Matthew Barzal, just sort of the element that he does where he can sort of draw a lot of coverage to him, and a great job coming up the wall, and a little bit of a role play to Dobson, who fed Pajot for the backdoor tap in. So Toronto, sometimes they get caught puck watching a little bit in the D zone. We saw it against the Capitals, saw it against Detroit a little bit as well too. That's a bit of their Achilles heel, but it was an amazing play by Pajot, even better pass by Dobson to make that play to Pajot there.
And the first 5 minutes of that period were kind of concerning because the Islanders scored. It was ruled on offside play, didn't count. And in between the Nyes goal, which was marvelous, by the way, 3 whacks at it and scored while sliding, called back because of goaltender interference. There was a play where Wall went down. He was on both knees, and I don't know what happened there, but he was very uncomfortable, gone up and looked like he was testing it and did from time to time throughout the period, but seemed to get stronger as the period wore on.
Yeah, he got up a little gingerly, and we could tell his face wasn't too impressed, just sort of with the pain that he was going through. And, we've talked about it on Yes Guy, I think, the last couple of weeks, and is his injuries a cause for concern? And, with this group and the goaltending, the best ability is availability. So we'll see what happens in the third. He looks like he shook it off, which was good. But again, anytime a goaltender goes down, especially with one out, it can spell disaster for this group. But you really feel for Matthew Nyes, who looked like he scored his first goal in a bunch of games as well too. And what an effort getting that second and third effort going to the net and picking up his rebound. But obviously was called back to goalie interference. But if I'm Craig Berube, I don't mind that. This group needs to crash the net a little bit more, get to the net with numbers. And it's good to see William Nylander do that, because he's typically the guy that's sort of on the outside making those best great plays. But when he goes to the net, it sort of sends a message to the other guys, hey, you know what, we got to replicate this because it works when it works.
Just the timing, if there's a problem with Wall, would be somewhat problematic, just because Stolarz isn't even halfway through his absence, and that would be something to make note of.
Yes, and I think when I went to grab my popcorn, I saw David Ayers lurking throughout the building.
Didn't recognize him without the Zamboni.
Yeah, that's him driving it right now. He's in his pads, but injuries are a part of the game. But again, anytime you lose your number 1A and then possibly your 1B, that could be shocking. It'd be very, very detrimental to your group, and especially when you don't know what's going on with Hildeby and where he is with his development, and just with what's in stake for this group this year, and what's at stake. To put a young goaltender in there and have this pressure be on him, I think it's too much. So let's cross our fingers, because they don't need another goaltender going down at this crucial stage of the season.
Yeah, well said. So here's what my observation on the Islanders, and I think I would put 5 or 6 other teams. Those teams that are not in the playoffs in the East would all be described this way. Don't do much in terms of generating offense, but if you give them a puck, they suddenly wake up, don't they?
Yeah, they're a team that would probably win the layup competition, where they just go out there and the big fundamentals. They just play the fundamentals. They cover a good F3. They swarm the puck. They have a good D zone. They break out cleanly, but they sort of just wait for their opportunities. And they've capitalized a little bit on some of the neutral zone turnovers, or Toronto not getting the puck out. And they do a great job cycling the puck. They do a great job with their deactivating. They do a great job getting pucks through. So if I'm Toronto, you want to spend as least amount of time in your own zone, because what you don't want is they have some guys that are game breakers, not too many, but if you give them an inch, they can take a mile.
What are you looking for in the third?
I would say just continue. They outshot New York 14-12. The game opened up, but it wasn't like it was a free-for-all where they were playing pond hockey. They had a good F3. D were doing a good job getting pucks through. If they didn't have anything, they're throwing it off the back wall. They weren't getting too crazy with the puck possession. So just continue to get pucks on net. Sorokin is known to break down in the third periods of some games this year too. So just continue the volume, but get to the net like Nylander did, and hopefully crack in another 1 or 2 here.
Stu, thanks very much. It's Toronto 2, the Islanders 1 after 40 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Lately, times have been challenging, with many people facing increased interest rates, inflation, and rising credit card debt. Everyone needs a little help from time to time, but it can be hard to ask for help when it comes to your personal finances. But you're not alone. Millions of Canadians share that feeling with you. 500,000 Canadians have found help with their debt, and so can you with Consolidated Credit Counseling Services of Canada. They are one of the largest non-profit credit counseling organizations in the country, with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They could help you consolidate your bills into one affordable payment, minimize your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. No matter how much you owe, you don't need to do this alone. To get help, call 1-800-656-7129. That's 1-800-656-7129. Let Consolidated Credit get you back.
I hate when the green screen is down. All right, there you go. Brenda J., thanks for stopping by really quick there at work. Enjoy the rest of your day at work. Hope it goes good for you, and have a great night tonight. Happy New Year. All right, I forgot because I was so busy chatting there, and just yakking happens when you get a little something hanging out here. Big shout outs to our super chats this afternoon and the member message as well. Toronto Maple Leafs loyal true Canadian heart, thank you for the super chat. And Brandy Gale, thank you for the $10 super chat. Happy New Year. Much appreciated, Brandy, and Happy New Year to you out in California. Go Leafs, go. Let's get ready for the third period. Keep that chat fired up, everybody. And don't forget, hit that like button. Hit that like button down below. We need to get more likes. Come on. All right. Let's go Leafs. Big third period.
See Home Club for details.
When a daughter and her kids move back in with dear old dad, coming home can be a bumpy road.
I need a place to stay until I figure out what the rest of my life looks like.
So, a couple of days. Tim Allen stars in the new comedy Shifting Gears. Starts Wednesday, January 8th on CTV.
Hey, Chloe, guess where we're going?
Where?
Pack your bags. We leave Friday.
Wait, what? How?
Sell-Off Vacations is how. With Sell-Off Vacations, choose between beach, cruise, or the USA.
And with up to $200 in instant savings, your happy travels can start today.
Book with your local travel expert or at
selloffvacations.com.
The Sport Check Boxing Day event is on now. Take 20 to 60% off store-wide on the top brands in sport. Sale ends January 1st. See in-store or sportcheck.ca for more details. Some exclusions may apply. Sport Check. Say it with sport.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Here's what we have. Only one other game in progress right now. Washington 2-1 over Boston, and it's been that way since the first period. It's now midway through the third. Brazeau scored for Boston, then Protas and Chychrun replied all in the first period. 2-1 Washington over Boston. Rest of the games are yet to start, so we'll dive into the World Juniors. Finland 1-0 over Latvia. That is early in the first period. Switzerland 3-1 over Kazakhstan. That is done at 5 o'clock. Czechia against Sweden. In our game tonight, Team USA against Team Canada, 8 o'clock, 7:30 pregame on TSN 1050 and the TSN Radio Network. 2-1 for the Leafs over the Islanders here. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Are you ready to thrive in 2025? Kickstart your personal upgrade on the SiriusXM app with our collection of top self-improvement podcasts.
The Mel Robbins Podcast.
The Ramsey Show.
Ask Eliza anything.
Soundtracks for meditation.
Learn and grow on a daily basis.
Genre-spanning workout channels and more.
Soul Cycle Radio.
What's up, insiders? How we doing tonight? It's not night. It's a day game. What is this business? New Year's Eve, we should be playing at night, but I guess with USA Canada going on and the college football playoffs, the Leafs players and management wanted to celebrate tonight, so they thought they'd get the game out of the way early. Thank you for being here. Please hit that like button down below, and let's get more hockey fans, more Leafs fans here into this awesome community where we raise money for SickKids Hospital every single game. Thank you for helping us heal the future. Thank you for hitting the like button. And as well, share this link out. Put it on the social boards, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. The more people that see a link out there that get brought over here, the more that YouTube likes it. Thank you, and happy 2024 coming to an end. All the best. Be safe tonight, and let's ring in 2025 in style.
Ireland scores the hat trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Join me, Ward Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite SiriusXM FC shows on the all-new SiriusXM app, now available for all subscribers.
Leafs 2 and the Islanders 1 as we head to the third period. The second period was brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it. The goal scorers, David Camp and Steven Lorenz. No, what are you laughing about?
Well, we were saying if you're a betting man.
Yeah, you might not have taken that parlay. No, probably not.
Probably should have. But, you talk about the need for secondary scoring tonight. It's a perfect example.
If the Lesser-Lights don't score, you don't get secondary scoring. So we should be happy that secondary scoring is there.
That's what I'm saying. It's not mocking it. I'm saying this is something that the Leafs have said they've needed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's why, when Robertson, McMahon, and Max Domi found that magic, we talked about how important it was to have the third line. And this, of course, especially with Austin Matthews out of the lineup. But the Leafs are perfect. 18-0 when leading after 2 periods of play. New York Islanders just once in the 12 times they have trailed into the third period of 1. They're 1-10-1 when trailing after 2.
Leafs to the right, Islanders to the left. Puck is dropped, we're underway. Dobson at his own blue line for New York, gets to the red line and shoots it in. Cizikas on the left wing boards, kicked it back to the net. Riley pushed it along the wall, but Nyes couldn't help him out. They'll try the other side, and it's going to ring around the boards and on the fresh ice. It is an icing call. It'll be brought back into the Toronto end. Afternoon matinee, last one of the season, and we've had a couple here at Scotiabank Arena, next-gen games, and then this one with the kids all out of school and enjoying it. So the parents will all get home in time for New Year's Eve tonight, and we hope that you're going to enjoy yours. And the Bowen family will be resting up for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame against Georgia tomorrow. There's a penalty coming here, and I think both are going to go.
Yeah, and this is the right call. Although I don't know if they were
maybe
calling.
Not. No, holding the stick and hooking. Okay, both are going.
I think you could have called embellishment or dive on Matthew Nyes. But like I said, the big question is, do they call Duclair what Nyes did, to me it's more of a dive than it is holding the stick. Duclair's stick is right across the crest on Matthew Nyes' jersey. But it's the way Nyes went down. I think that was probably what caught the referee's attention. That doesn't usually force your legs to straighten out and twitch on your back, does it?
Well, I don't know. I never played forward, so I don't know how that... You never played forward.
No, but I've walked before and skated.
I suppose that's accurate. Here the Islanders in, trying to sweep in on goal, and it rolled off a stick. Crashing into the net is Chris Tanev, and it is Wall who's going to cover up on it. Chris Tanev has had an interesting afternoon.
He's had... And the thing is, we're just marveling at him, blocking shots, and he never, he's, goes to the room, comes back out, and plays like nothing happened. And this has been his career.
Oh, I know.
That's we're 3 months into his first season with the Leafs, and we're amazed by it.
Here are the Islanders. Pajot going top shelf, and it went high over top of the net. Islanders trying to poke it in front, knocked away there by Tavares. They're playing 4-on-4 here as the bank pass finds Marner. Marner works in his own zone, got it ahead. Timmins carries in across the line with Tavares. Tavares almost stole it near the goal crease area, but it is brought back quickly the other way by Barzal. Barzal in on the right side. Got it into the slot, and a shot is right on and covered up by Joseph Wall to stop play. As the Islanders now with 22 shots on goal, the Leafs with 20. But a 2-1 Toronto lead here in the third.
If my numbers are correct, Joe, and again, talking about Chris Tanev. He was the last Leaf defenseman to score, unless I've missed somebody here, and that was November the 30th in Tampa Bay.
Wow. John Tavares is a 7-game point streak on the line here, too. 6 goals and 6 assists in that time period. And a close call on the offside at the blue line. Going to bring a face-off outside the Toronto line.
Mitch Marner's 8-game point streak on the line as well. Willie Nylander had his point streak end after failing to get a point against the Washington Capitals. He had 6 goals and 13 points in that stretch.
Draw one by Toronto. Nylander gets back to the loose puck, hands it off to Tanev, who gets it ahead, and now Nylander takes a return pass on the left wing. Had it knocked off his stick, and then it's brought in offside. And this third period has started at a snail's pace, and this may be an evening game if it continues at this pace for the third period.
Now, did you take the train in today?
I certainly did. Yes, indeedy.
I was going to until I looked at the Maps app on my phone, and I saw the most beautiful blue line.
Wow.
No shades of yellow or red.
Nothing.
And I thought, I got to take advantage of this.
There you go. Played down into the Islander zone. Domi comes out of the far corner with it. Sidesteps one of his own teammates and got it back. And Tanev, for some reason, brought it out of the zone and takes it back into his own territory. Not sure what prompted that. But now a lead pass gets Domi. He'll drop it off for Nylander. Nylander in over the line. Got a shot away that was blocked. Islanders turn it back up ice. Brought on by Bo Horvat. Horvat in with a long shot. Gloved by Wall. And he'll stop play and bring a face-off in the Toronto zone to his left. With 17:44 to go in what has been a snail's pace third period. And face-off in the Leaf zone. 2-1 Toronto. And the next action is against these same Islanders down on Long Island on Thursday at 7 p.m.
So bizarre the scheduling, isn't it? In the Islanders, their last 5 games will be 3 against the Leafs, 2 against Pittsburgh. Or last 6 games.
Yeah.
Leafs have played Detroit twice after not playing them all the year.
In the other court, the Leafs are playing 16 sets of back-to-back games. Islanders will play 9. Into the corner it goes for Morgan Rielly. Rielly coming out with it. Got it down low. Centering pass is blocked. And the rebound still free. Marner trying to get it in front. And the Islanders will come away with it. And Cizikas comes to center with a long shoot-in that is blockered into the corner and up into the screen by goaltender Joseph Wall. 16 sets of back-to-back, including of the last 5 games. There are 2 sets of back-to-backs in there. In the last 5 games of schedule. So talk about when you're trying to maybe jockey in there and then,
or rest guys or anything.
No, it's just.
Well, even when you look at the quirk in the schedule, starting February 1st, the Leafs will play 11 of 13 on the road. In fact, they've only got 1 home game in February. You've got the Four Nations Cup break, but only 1 home game in the month of February.
Wow. Leafs get it out at center. Nyes gets it in over the line on the left wing side. Couldn't get it in front of the net to a man breaking, and Adam Pelech now trying to get it up the boards and just getting it out at center. Pajot will shoot it in for the Islanders, and around the wall it'll come to the near side. Lee up against the boards. Barzal there as well. Back to the point it comes. Into the slot for Pajot. Drop back to the point. Trying to work in with it now, and a shot is swallowed up by Wall off the stick of Isaiah George. And a face-off will come again in the Toronto zone. 16:36 to play in the third period.
Did his stick end up going up into the crowd?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah, went flying right over that. I didn't see that. Flying right over the glass and ended up in the stands. What's the most famous stick into the stands thing you can recall? Playoff game.
When the stick was thrown back?
Playoff game with Mike Gardner, right?
Right.
Mike Gardner's stick went into the crowd.
And the fan threw it back.
The fan leaned over and gave it back to him, and he roared up the ice and got it and it was illegal. That should have been a penalty. Never was called. And then Bobby Stellick went and got a stick, took it to the fan, and made a presentation in the period. Played up at center ice and chipped into the Leaf zone by the Islanders. Out of the net is Wall. Going to play it high on the glass. Comes off a body and then played by Domi, and the Leafs get it off Robertson, sticking into Islander territory. Goaltender plays it to the line and out. McMahon backhands it right back in again. George goes back to recover the puck for the Islanders. Played it to the line and out. Domi is there again. Stops before he brought it back into his own end. Islanders have to wait for teammates to get onside. It's played back out into the center ice area. George tries it again. This time deflected in over the line. Comes in front of the net, trying to get a shot away. It was Siplikov, and it was stopped there by Joseph Wall. Leafs get it back into Islander territory. Quick up now for Siplikov again. Siplikov against the boards on the near side. Had it taken away by Jake McCabe. He gives it off to Nylander. Nylander circles back with some skating room. Goes D to D with it now, and Jake McCabe will try to return the favor as it comes in off David Kamp's stick. Kamp scored the opening goal of the hockey game. Second goal in 3 games. Back at the point, Taneva's shot doesn't make it through. McCabe can't swat it back in as it comes to center, and Kamp will get it back, and Tanev gets it ahead off a stick down into Islander territory. Noah Dobson behind the Islander goal. Moving left to right as they bring it out. Barzal works to center. Played it in on the right wing. Lee down the right wing boards. Played it back to the point. No one there. And it's going to come all the way back into neutral ice. Pajot off Lee's stick. Leafs get the turnover though. They'll get back to center, firing it back in, slowed up by Sorokin back of the goal. Played hard into the corner. It'll find Lee up on the left wing boards, and they'll bring it out at center. Onto the left wing side again, looking for Barzal. That didn't connect. Marner against the boards, looking for a loose puck to come about, and it does come out, but Pajot gets it back to the point and a shot, and that's just off the mark wide. Rebound back to the blue line. Kept alive by the Islanders into the corner. Another shot, gloved and smothered by Wall, who fires his stick into the corner and makes sure both mitts are on top of that elusive rondelle.
Kind of a harmless looking shot from the left wing boards, but Anders Lee right in front of Wall providing the screen, and looked like he might have been able to redirect that one.
It is 2-1 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This week on Let's Go with Bill Belichick, Max Crosby, Peter King, and me, Jim Gray. Los Angeles Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh. Now you're back with an opportunity here in the playoffs. It happened pretty quick.
It feels good, really good. That's how it's felt, since day one, where everybody is doing anything and everything they can to help us be successful and to win. If you have that, it's just who could have it better.
Listen to the extended version of Let's Go, now available exclusively on the SiriusXM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Vegas Golden Knights head coach Bruce Cassidy.
What gets you excited when you see their team, really start?
Cheers, hockey fans, Leafs fans, insiders. Happy New Year to you. 2024 is done. Today's the last Leafs game of this year, and we're going to be back in 2025, and we're going to have a heck of a year. But I wanted to just take a minute to let you guys know about our football frenzy. As you see, tonight we're live for Penn State and Boise State in the college football playoffs. And we're running our SickKids Hospital football frenzy because of the successes that we saw in October with the MLB playoffs, raising over $3,500. Take it away, Joe. We got a special message from Mr. Joe Bowen.
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, thank you for helping us raise money for SickKids Hospital as we heal the future.
Go Leafs, go! Thank you for helping us heal the future.
Face off in the Toronto zone to the right. With the Leafs leading 2-1 here in the third period, 13:49 to go. And the draw won by the Islanders. Mayfield plays it around back of the net. Pushed along the boards a little further. Nyes couldn't help out. Islanders get it back to the point, walking the line, and a shot taken by George was blocked. Rebound controlled by Toronto. David Camp got it ahead to Nylander, but he's in trouble on the far boards, being double teamed. The puck's still free in their skates. Sort of. Well, now it's pinned up against the boards. And now it comes free, but Camp couldn't get it up on the far boards as it comes to the side of the net. Wall had to be careful with that. And the Leafs now elevated and get it all the way down to the Islander blue line. Mayfield playing it right back into the Toronto zone. Joseph Wall plays into the corner to Riley. Up ahead for Camp. Camp rink wide for Myers. He gets to center and shoots it in. Leafs are changing. Islanders back in their own zone. Played it ahead on the left wing for Tsiplikov, who gets it out at center. Pass in on the right side now for Duclair. Anthony Duclair knocked down on the play. Puck is pushed out at center. Just failing to reach it, though, was Bobby McMahon, or he might have pushed his way into a partial break. Domi will play it back out at center. Islanders with it again, and Duclair's right back in. Broken up at the blue line. Leafs trying to counter, and now here's Robertson in on the wing with a shot, and he wristed it wide of the short side. Domi takes it back out into the center ice area. Jake McCabe took a look at the net, then wired it in off the glass. Islanders will go back into their own zone and play it out at center, where Tanev breaks up the rush, and McCabe has the puck again, back to his defense partner. Tanev quickly ahead, brought to the line and in by Reeves. Bumped to the boards then by Pajot. The puck around the boards for Anders Lee. Lee with a long lead pass for Pajot. McCabe trying to get back, and he does a great job of taking the man down without a penalty and making sure the puck was cleared. Reeves couldn't get away. Pajot back in for Anders Lee. Lee with a backhand short side, stopped, and then McCabe drills Lee into the end boards. Wall holding on to the disc, but Anders Lee taking a direct route to the net, and Jake McCabe said, well, we might as well continue this 5 extra feet, maybe 10 extra feet into the boards.
You know what? This is where the Leafs have given up too many of these opportunities, so just bank it off the right wing boards, and the forwards blow by. We've seen the Capitals, the Islanders in their last visit in, score goals that way. Kind of call it the half pinch, right? Where the defenseman isn't committing to staying inside the blue line, but he's not backing off either, and bank it off the boards past him, and you got somebody going full speed the other way.
Errant pass by Riley, goes into a battle for the puck in the corner. The Islanders get it back to the point. That was blasted at the net and stopped by the blocker of Wall. Kept alive on the far boards by Tsiplikov. Riley in the corner now battles for it along with Anders Lee. Leafs get it freed up. Pacioretty almost had his pocket picked, but now gets it up along the boards, and it'll be played out at center ice by Tavares. Played right back in. This is a delayed offside, and whistled down quickly with 11 minutes to play in the third period, and the Leafs have been sitting back in their own end and are outshot now 28-21 because they've not had a shot on goal in the first 9 minutes of this third period.
Well, they're saying, according to the new updates, 7-1.
Updated,
yeah.
So my stat was wrong?
Well, they might update it again where it's right.
So they've given the Leafs a shot on goal?
That's according to the NHL website, yeah. 7-1 shots.
Nuts. All right, fine. Here's Fashing for the Islanders, trying to center, hit the side of the goal. Benoit one-hands it ahead, but Nylander doesn't get it out for him. And now on the far side, David Camp does, trying to play it ahead, and Nyes will play it down deep into the Islander zone. Trying to get around the interference being done there by the Islander defense, but it's played out at center, and Tanev has to go back. Tanev to McCabe, back to Tanev. Far Boards up the middle for Nyes. Nyes to the line. Left wing side, Nylander slid it towards the net. Steered wide easily by Sorokin. Played to the side of the goal for Domi. Domi now centering for puck back to the point. To Domi again it comes. And then he fanned on it completely. Works to the boards to try to restore it. Back to the point to McCabe. Far point in front of the net. Nylander hit the goal post. Centering pass again. Nice. Stopped by Sorokin, and he's got it underneath his pad. Leafs come close to extending the lead.
Boy, Willie Nylander flying by top of the crease. Reverses it, goes back the other way on Sorokin, but right off the post. But I think the opportunity after that, Joe, was even better.
I don't disagree, but it's still 2-1 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew! Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
What's up, insiders? Oh, man. Thank you, Rick Smith. You are a legend. Thank you, sir, for the first donation of the TSI Football Frenzy campaign for SickKids Hospital. Yes, sir. This is awesome. We're off to a great start because I didn't think we were going to get any today. I thought we were going to get them just tonight during the football games. You rock. Look at that. I love it. We got the chat popping off now. How do I get this chat out of here? Where's the chat? Where'd it go? Where did it go? Live chat. There it is. Perfect. Thank you, Rick Smith. Thank you to all of you who have donated to SickKids. Thank you to all of you who are just here right now. Every single time you watch a video here on TSI, percentage of that goes to SickKids Hospital. This is awesome. There you go. Daniel Lucas says, shout out from Newfoundland. Love it. Newfoundland in the house. Newfoundland. You got to space it out there, man. You messed me up there. I started reading it all wrong. Back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go.
I was just saying we had a chat with Matt Martin the last time the Islanders were in, and he's been a healthy scratch a lot of the time. Boy, that line, Cizikas, him, and who was the other? I'm trying to remember who that was. They had it was Bang and Bash.
Clutterbuck. Cal Clutterbuck,
yes. That was Bang and Bash. And that fourth line probably stayed together longer than almost any other fourth line you could think of, right?
Probably than a lot of first lines.
Yes. Islanders win the face-off. The puck goes off. A stick kept in by Toronto's Robertson. Now into the corner for McMahon. Left wing side. Couldn't get it back to the point cleanly. Islanders almost turn it over. In fact, do. Now here's Robertson down into the corner. Trying to get it free. Got it back to the point, but it was out of the reach of Morgan Riley, who'll have to come to center and just shoot it right back in again. A delayed offside. McMahon pressured in there. Islanders bring it back into their zone, but now Pajot will play it off the stick and down into the Toronto end. Myers back of the net quickly for Riley. Riley up ahead, a little touch pass by Robertson springs McMahon, and he'll backhand into Islander territory to get a change of players as we are 9 minutes left in the third period. 2-1 Toronto. Brought in by Lee. Dropped it off for Barzal. Barzal works it towards the point, or towards the net. Cleared by the Leafs, and blocked there again by Tanev and sent back out at center ice. He had 4 blocks in the first 2 periods. He's had at least 2 more here in this one. Pacioretty extricates himself from checking and launches it high into Islander territory, and the Leafs are changing. And this has been Kitty bar the door hockey for the Maple Leafs, and it's been fairly effective up till now. Brought on by Siplikov. Worked into the near corner. Looks to make a pass. Double teamed and knocked down there by Connor Dewar. And along the boards is Brock Nelson. He has difficulties with it. Play back of the net. It comes in front. Dewar frees it up. And Timmins is going to launch it high to center ice, and Reeves is able to get it in over the line. Lorenz trips and falls. The Islanders poke it out, and quickly the other way is Kyle Palmieri. Palmieri working in on the left wing. Good play by Myers. He just rode him nicely into the inboards without any incident. Leafs have the puck in the near corner. Riley is knocked down by Cizikas. It's pinned up against the wall underneath the fallen two players. Finally dug free, and the Leafs get it high, elevated down the ice, rolling, but no icing.
Linesman sized that up for a long time.
Did he ever? He had his nose on it, I think, at the end, trying to make sure it didn't go over the line before it was waved off. Now the Leafs get it down into the Islander zone. Nyes plays into the corner. Nylander trying to work around back of the net. Stops it up. Tried to get it back to the point. McCabe pinched. Kept in by Nyes. Nyes down low to Nylander. Nylander cross ice to Tanev. Winding and shooting, looking for a redirect. And it went wide of the goal, and the rebound explodes all the way to center ice. Nylander gets the pass and deflects it in. Quickly shot back out again by New York. Quickly played ahead again for Nyes. Nyes in on the wing. Left wing side, Nylander. Nylander is still with it as he works back towards the blue line. Lost the puck. Islanders regroup it, and they'll get it out at center ice, and the Leafs are in need of a change. Nyes and Nylander have been on for a while. Islanders in with a shot! Off the crossbar. The puck comes back out in front of the net in the backhand. Stopped by Wall, and he covers up.
Well, the Islanders off the rush. It's Barzal. First shot was blocked. He got it right back on his stick. And I think the second one's blocked as well, Joe. And then kind of flutters up and over the shoulder of Wall.
Go off Pajot maybe as well before it hit the crossbar.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right. Yeah, it was the second attempt. It was actually going wide. And it hits Pajot. I don't think this would have been a high stick either. 6:25 to go, and the Leafs dodge a big bullet.
Draw one by New York. Fed into the side of the goal. Up on the boards for Tanev. Poked ahead to the line. Leafs minor going to get it out. Now Tavares in over the line. Tavares works and then got a weak shot away, and it went well wide. Pacioretty sends it back to the centerman. Tavares working out of the near corner, trying to get away from one man. Still has it. Left it on his stick for Pacioretty. Pacioretty trying to keep it in. Bouncing puck knocked out at center ice as Tavares trying to get his stick away from Dobson, who had a pretty good grab on it.
The referee had a pretty good look at it. He was standing over top of both of them.
Graham Skilliter had a ringside view of the holding the stick penalty that went for naught. Adam Pelech in his own zone. The Islanders turn the puck over. Robertson fires it right back in again, back of the net. Back of the goal. McMahon can't help out. Siplikov starts back for New York. Siplikov through center. Good back checking by Domi. Denies that. Leafs send it right back into the zone. Islanders poke it back out for Siplikov on the right wing. He'll send it back to the defense, and Pelech trying to steal. Brought back the other way. A tripping call coming here against New York with a shot. It would have been a breakaway. Bobby McMahon was tripped up, but he really didn't have control of the puck yet. So it was not a clear-cut breakaway either. Mayfield was in the vicinity, but here's an opportunity for the Maple Leafs power play to really put a stranglehold on this game with 5:03 to play. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
New Year's Eve is live across America.
Hey insiders and hockey fans all over the world, thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon as we close out 2024 and get ready for a huge 2025. Thanks so much for being here. Please let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Are you downtown Toronto? Are you out in Lake Country? Are you out in Manitoba, Alberta, BC? Are you in the USA or somewhere else all over this crazy globe? Please let us know in the chat. Send that flag emoji out there. Let's see lots of Canadian flags as well as international. Hey, some of you might be in 2025 right now. Thanks for hanging out with us. Go Leafs, go! Happy New Year.
than he is and the respect that he has in that room.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. 24/7 hockey talk.
Team Canada assistant coach Bruce Cassidy.
It feels like every game has significant importance.
Well, I think in playoffs, you can live with a loss. I think in this tournament, it's going to be a lot more difficult to live with a loss. Once you pull that sweater on, I think every country, it's about compete. The X's and O's part will come together as long as the players are on their toes and ready to go.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Power play brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today as the Islanders get it down into the Leaf zone, and a quick shot there by Pajot. Pretty good pad save had to be made by Wall. Leafs on the power play. Nylander in on the right side, takes the puck from Marner and swings it around the boards now to Nyes. Nyes down into the corner, banks it back to Morgan Rielly. Rielly, right wing side for Marner, back to Rielly, now to Nylander. Nylander doesn't shoot it, back to Rielly. He'll walk the line, back to Marner, closing now with a pass down low for Nyes, that didn't work. Centering pass to Rielly, near side for Nylander, and it was off his stick, just deflected. Rielly should have shot it. Nylander again with it, back to Rielly, over to Marner. Marner down low, dropping it back, Rielly closes, now lets the shot go, that's deflected wide. Played by Marner back along the boards to Morgan Rielly, and he evacuated the area thinking that Tavares was going to keep it in. Leafs get it back in over the line though. Nylander back to the net for Morgan Rielly, centering pass doesn't work. Cleared out it, now they better start racing for it because an Islanders racing away after it. Brock Nelson's in, stopped by Wall. Holy Mackinac, is there going to be a Marner just stopped. Didn't go back. Is there a penalty? No. But Wall saves the day for the Maple Leafs. Mitch Marner.
I'm not sure whether he thought somebody was on the other side, but Marner was at the left point. Puck slides out of the zone,
and he just stood there.
And I'm not sure whether he thought it was going to go far enough for Wall to play, or if he thought Rielly was closer to it. But Rielly was the one that got on his horse and was chasing Brock Nelson all the way back down the middle of the ice, and Joseph Wall comes up, if not with his most difficult stop of the night, definitely the most timely.
Face-off won by the Islanders. Played around back of the net. Nelson traps it against the boards, wants to try and pin it there as long as he can. And finally the puck squirts free, and Domi has room to start skating it out with the power play with 30 seconds left in it. A pass off a stick, got to the line, broken up again by Toronto, and then the Leafs come away with the puck in their own zone. Up on the left wing, brought on by Robertson. Robertson in over the line, drops it off for Bobby McMahon. McMahon dropping it to the point. McCabe gives it back to Timmins. Timmins with a shot deflected and wide of the Islander goal. Domi back to the point once more. Fake pass goes back to Domi. Domi on the far half course, the penalty's over. A pass to McMahon at the side of the net, didn't connect. Back to the point, Timmins, shot block in front of the net. And with 2:55 to go in the third, the Leafs don't get any breathing room. In fact, they give up what could have been the game-tying rush. Save for a save by Joseph Wall. Tavares to the red line. Just did get it in over the line, then got a loose puck. Plays to the side of the net, and a centering pass went off a stick and comes to center ice. Benoit for Marner. Doesn't get it in deep. Marner plays it back into his own zone. Benoit back of the goal, returns the favor. Marner with a long up, played in off Pacioretty down into Islander territory. 2:17 to go. We'll keep an eye on goaltender Sorokin, and there he goes. Extra attacker coming on for New York. Now they're trying to make sure they got enough people on the ice and not too many. In fact, they don't have enough on the ice yet. Here's Robertson looking at an empty net but can't deliver a shot. Robertson against the boards. It comes out into neutral ice. Knocked down on the play was Morgan Riley. Riley gets it back again. The Leafs can't get it in deep. And the Islanders finally have control with 1:45 to go. That was comical. Guys trying to count heads out there to make sure there wasn't too many. And an icing call here against New York will force Sorokin back into the net. They ended up with 2 guys on the ice at one point.
Well, Patrick Roy is known to be an early pull of the goaltender when trailing late in the third period. You know, when he played goal in the league, made the playoffs 17 of 18. Now, he was also a 3-time Conn Smythe Trophy winner.
Yep.
As a junior coach, the team hadn't missed the playoffs in 13 years. And as an NHL coach, his teams have only made the playoffs twice in 4 seasons.
Islanders win the draw, and stationed back of the net is Noah Dobson. Sorokin looking at the bench, getting the wave now, and starting out with it. No, the Leafs intercepted. Sorokin's got to go back. And now the Leafs in over the line, and Tavares, thinking he could spot Pacioretty, couldn't get him the puck in an errant pass, and the Islanders have it with 1:12 to go. Here's Barzal up on the left wing, and there goes Sorokin to the bench. Played around back of the net and swept around the boards by the Leafs, trapped at the point by Dobson. Dobson with 6 attackers. Barzal trying to center it, went right through the goal crease. Back to the point it comes. Dobson with it again. Looks to the near side, a one-timer by Horvat. Boomed wide of the net. Tipped out at center ice by the Leafs. Trying to get to it and tripped up is Pacioretty. Penalty call coming here to New York. And Pacioretty is in a fight.
Islanders may be down a couple here.
Wow.
2 players, including Barzal, went after Pacioretty after the penalty was being called.
Now, he stepped on the stick and went down. And it was a trip. Whether he did it on purpose or not before, they took exception to that. It's like they two-handed one of them over the head or something. That was bizarre.
Well, you got to get that dirty tripping penalties out of the game.
It's uncalled for, Mr. Ralph. Only tripping. And just the one call.
Yeah, they kind of got rid of everything else. I mean, it's an accidental trip.
Sure,
obviously, the Islander, and that's 2 where the Islander player was falling. This time it's Noah Dobson. And as he's falling, Pacioretty's trying to get around him and basically steps on his stick.
So with 42.3 seconds left to go, the Leafs can play a little keep away here. Put this one to bed.
And are we going to at least see 2 defensemen?
Surely,
power play here?
God. After watching Marner stand there and not react.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He was as disgusted with himself as any. He came down after Wall made the save, and he just slammed his puck into
there's
the
your
end
answer.
of the
You got Jake McCabe and Morgan Riley both out.
Might be a chance here to have all 4 defensemen on the ice for this power play.
But I mean, what's going to happen if the Islanders get it, throw the puck down the ice?
They're going to go with 5 attackers.
Yeah, goalie comes back out, and you're 5-on-5 again.
Yep. No, wait a minute. Sorokin is still on the bench. They're going with 5 with no goalie with a face-off. Okay, I've never seen this.
I have.
Barzal.
When I played.
Yeah. But it was earlier in the game.
It was the second period.
Draw won by Toronto. Islanders trying to get it out but can't. Leafs get it into the slot area. Marner dishes off on the right wing side. Tavares scores!
Well, there's some streaks that'll continue. As Marner was able to give it over to Nylander in the right wing circle. Nylander propels it to the left wing circle, where Tavares gets it and snaps it in with 32.9 seconds to go, and the Leafs have a 3-1 lead.
How do you mark that down? Is that an empty net goal or a stupid goal?
Well, it's an empty net power play goal. It is. I mean, and the Leafs have given up.
Yes, shorthanded
goals. Who was it? 2 against, I believe it was Winnipeg.
Yes, yep.
So it shows up as a shorthanded goal.
That was
Tavares
bizarre.
too, with Pajot diving across with the 2-pad stack. Tavares goes bar down. over the right shoulder.
That's a heck of a shot.
Yes.
So Marner and Nylander will draw assists on the Tavares goal. As you mentioned, streaks continue. But that was a bizarre coaching decision by Patrick Waugh. Leafs will get it out in center.
Well, at least we're not saying it was a brilliant coaching decision.
No.
That might have turned out differently had the Islanders won the faceoff.
And if this stands up, Steven Lorenz, who has scored 4 times, is going to get the game-winning goal as it comes around back of the net. Final 2 seconds coming into the books, and the game is over.
Well, not a Picasso, but you can still hang it on the wall and tell your friends about it.
See, I would have thought more Rembrandt. It looked more like a Picasso.
You and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between that and a Ziggy cartoon.
Actually, how about a Rembrandt and an Etch-a-Sketch?
Would you believe?
Would you believe? Yeah, you're right. It was a workmanlike effort. It could have been easier, but the Maple Leafs are going to end a streak of losing on home ice.
Yeah, 3 in a row at home.
And they hadn't lost 4 at home in a row in a long while.
Well, and now they go into New York, play the Islanders, where they try to extend a winning streak on the road. They've won 3 in a row on the road, so it's amazing how they've struggled on the road early. We're outstanding at home. Then you get a 3-game win streak that is offset by a 3-game losing streak on home ice. 3-game win streak on the road, 3-game losing streak on home ice. So it'll be interesting to see if they get a little help up front on Thursday, or do you wait and say if Matthews does have a chance to play, you'll save him for the Boston Bruins on Saturday.
It also mathematically puts them back in first place in the Atlantic Division.
even with the Florida Panthers, but more regulation wins is the tiebreaker right now. But it's going to be a big game against the Bruins on Saturday when we're back here as well.
Looking forward to that. But you can join us Thursday, 7 o'clock, Leafs and Islanders, a rematch on Long Island, and we hope that you will join us at that time. Anthony Stewart to join Jim Taddy. Post-game show coming your way. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's not 2025 just yet, and we're looking back on 2024 in the National Football League.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion.
High-profile players changed teams and made major impacts.
The King scores again.
Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll left the NFL sidelines after impressive eras, and so much more. SiriusXM NFL Radio's Top 10 Stories of 2024, hosted by Bill Leckis. Catch the show.
There we go. I think we've got the mic on. The mic is on. All right. Mark Duffney, Frank DeMarco, Big Jam Roll, Pike's Wrath, Stefan, Brandy Gale, Veronica, Mark Daigle, Stefan, Rod Bottomley. What's up, Rod? Beer, but mine is water. I'm sorry. Still way too early. Way too early. There you go. Happy New Year's. Mad Max. Thank you all. There's Kevin. I love it, Kevin. Happy New Year, you people. Take it easy, Kevin. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you, guys. There's Connor as well. How's it going, Mike? How you doing, Connor? Good to see you, man. Edson from Brazil. I love it. What a stream we have had here. A great start to the day. We're going to have so much fun. Oh, my goodness. There you go, Stefan. There you go. You said it. USA, Canada. What a game we have coming up tonight. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. And Canada's winning. That's what's going to happen. 19 in the house. What's up, 19? Frank DeMarco. There you go. I know it's being funny. Look at me. I'm trying to get the chat. No positive. No, nothing about politics up in here. Happy New Year. I saw you seize the opportunity with the chat up over there. I got it. All right. Let's get to the post-game show. I will let it run. As always, I need to hop on over to the Raptors stream and get that all checked out and going. Leanna Netling, cheers. Cheers, Leanna. John Slattery. John, cheers, man. 19, there you go, in the chat. Dr. Dupree, love it. Happy New Year from Tasmania, Big Mike. I need to get smaller. I got to get a little bit. God, these holidays, man, I've been eating. Oof. All right, guys, go Leafs, go. Big win. The parlay has started. We're off to the next one. See you guys in the chat next time. Big shout out, Rick Smith. Big shout out right there. SickKids donation for the football frenzy. We are underway. Let's go. Let's go. So exciting, guys. Absolutely, guys. So excited. Happy New Year. See you in the Raptors chat or the hockey chat later tonight. Go Canada, go. Or the football chat. All right, I'll stop. You guys can listen to the commercial now.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Leafs get it into the slot area. Marner dishes off on the right wing side. Kamara scores!
Well, there's some streaks that'll continue.
And the Leafs win at 3-1 thanks to JT salting it away at 19:23. A power play goal into an empty net, his 19th of the season. 3-1 the Leafs win. Welcome to the Leafs Game Night post-game show live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you, and Jimmy Ralph kind enough to hang around. And Ralphie, you know, we've seen when we do a Leaf loss, they didn't respond at the right time. That Lorentz goal, I mean, who would have known how huge that was going to be, but it was.
Yeah, well, especially after the Washington game, where both times they score within 2 minutes, Capitals respond. So the Leafs were able to turn the tables on that. We were joking in the second intermission that I don't know how many people have those betting apps, but I don't know if a lot would have said before the game, David Kemp, Steven Lorentz, got him.
Yeah, the parlay.
Yeah,
that's right.
But, I mean, and it's not to mock it, because we've said all year you need more secondary scoring, and we've seen it with the combination of Domi, McMahon, and Robertson at times, where contributed in huge ways to success for the Leafs. It started on the road, and now you get David Kampf scored twice in his last 3 games, and Steven Lorentz scoring tonight. So very important goals, and yet through it all, it's hard not to look at Chris Tanev and say, man, this guy's got to be a hero. You know, he's the defensive version of Doug Gilmour and Wendell Clark, of guys that put everything into every single game and takes the abuse. And they did announce him as one of the stars tonight, but hopefully he starts to get a little more credit. I mean, he's lived up to every bit of the billing when Brad Treliving signed him.
Yeah, him and McCabe, definitely unsung heroes. There were some questions about Camp filling in on the second line, but I think the line as a whole did pretty good. They scored the first goal of the game, and it's a different line when you have Nylander as the driver. I think he stepped up and had a great night tonight to go along with Camp.
Now, do you find, Stewie, that they have more success still when it's dump and chase? And especially John Tavares is so good on the forecheck and getting in, and we saw it a little bit more tonight where they weren't as guilty of trying to pass everything into the zone.
No, it was great, and I think the term is this chip and charge, right? Chip and retrieve, and they're not just dumping for the sake of dumping it. They're actually doing it to get it back and get back on offense.
Kind of like the way they went about this game. The Islanders clearly were hanging around looking for turnovers, and the Leafs didn't give them much. And this is just another example of the Leafs figuring out a way to win that's not high-powered.
Yeah, although, I mean, a shorthanded breakaway,
that was scary.
I mean,
yes, guy.
That's one of those where you say, oh, no. And it'll be interesting to hear the comments of Craig Berube after, because, again, when the Islanders come in, worst power play in the league, worst penalty kill in the league, and you wouldn't have known it by what we saw tonight. The Leafs, again, I mean, it seems to be the number one detriment is not having either a one-timer from the circles or a defenseman that can shoot the puck.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of opportunities where you thought, Morgan Rielly, you got to shoot it. You're in the high slot, let it go and try to pass it off. And it just seems that without that element, they're very predictable.
So let's talk about that one-timer from the point, not the slot. I mean, the goals from the defense, clearly they're not built that way, but they could use that, couldn't they?
Well, Stewie, who would be the best that you would have played with?
And getting pucks through, or
yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Because I mean, for me, from a Leaf standpoint, it was Brian McCabe and Dion Phaneuf could one time it.
Yeah, we had Dustin Bufflin, right, where he hit the big bomb, but he would laugh at you where he would sometimes have the rocket in front. And one year I had 5 power play goals because he would not dust it off, and he would just fire it. Sometimes it would go high, sometimes it would go low, go off the back wall, but we knew that it was coming within a wheelhouse because if you don't get that initial shot going in net, it'd come off the back wall. But he'd always have that accurate where he's going to hit it within, if you don't get it on the first shot, the rebound's going to be there. Very, very accurate. It's a big, big thing. And I think with that, when you have that option up top, it opens up the seams. Right, so there's no real threat from the top, so that's why the PKs are just collapsing because they know, more times than not, they're going to defer to the flanks, and they're just collapsing, trying to take those flanks away.
Yeah, and like we said, one of the frustrating part is when you watch and you say, boy, that was 12 passes to get it right back where it started.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, if there's no threat of that shot, that one-timer coming, then clog up the middle and take away the lanes.
Joseph Wall seemed like he got up a little gingerly after one of the saves there. Do you think we see him next game against the Islanders?
Yeah, I think, I mean, at some point, what you got back-to-backs on the weekend, you got Philly coming in on Sunday. I think you definitely want Wall in Saturday against the Bruins, so Hildeby, you would think for sure would start against Philadelphia, unless, there's something to Joseph Wall getting up a little.
Or they recall Murray
gingerly.
again.
Yeah, it's, but I mean, I would think Joseph Wall is going to be your guy if he's 100% healthy, because like I said, I think you look at Sunday as the game that you would give Hildeby the start.
But he seemed a little concerned when he got up and then played through it and then was okay. So, I mean, maybe this is a guy who just has muscle tightness. Who knows?
Yeah, I never stretched mine out to find out if I had
muscle tightness. I don't know. Could be. Let's not find out.
I'm not going to risk it.
You were a goalie, right?
I used to get that a lot. Yeah.
I loved your line at the end of the game where they pulled their goalie with a face-off in their own zone, and of course you quipped, "Yeah, I've seen that before. Second period, me playing."
We're just stay here. Yeah.
Where do you want me? You don't want to know.
We'll chance it.
Oh boy! So the Austin Matthews departure is still up in the air, and they find a way. I kind of like they did move Domi up at some point in the third period to generate some offense, but I like that third line. It's been pretty effective.
Yeah, it's Bobby McMahon. I mean, again, you look at these guys playing through injuries, right? Or Nick Robertson was a healthy scratch. Domi out a long time with injuries. Bobby McMahon was out for a stretch with injuries. So, it was a matter of getting everybody back in the lineup healthy. It's not that you could criticize Craig Berube and say, boy, you should have tried that a month ago, because they simply weren't available. So, but you certainly see it when you take Austin Matthews out of the lineup, what that does to the rest of the lines. And I know just looking at it coming into the game, the Leafs' second, third, fourth line centers before today combined for 4 goals. And when you look at the Islanders side, second, third, fourth combined for 22. I mean, that's massive, an 18-goal difference. So even though the Islanders come in and they have trouble in the power play, they have trouble scoring goals, you look at up the middle, the numbers would show that they're stronger than the Leafs with Matthews out of the lineup.
Yeah, the fourth line had another great game, too. And it's great that they got the goal, but they just seem to be controlling the play. They had 12 hits between the 3 of them. How great is it to see their impact and them impacting the game positively for a change?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, the more time you can spend in the offensive zone, the better that fourth line looks, right? When everything, like you said, it's chip and chase or chip and charge. And I think that's what you like about it. And that's where in Detroit they were rewarded with a goal there. And it's just something, a lot of it has to do with, when you're in your own end, the clean outs and to be able to retrieve pucks or get to the red line to chip it in. But, there's certainly even, Max Pacioretty had some big hits as well. It's nice to see that physical side of the game sort of creep back into it. I'm not so sure why the Islanders were so upset about Pacioretty drawing the tripping penalty
weird.
late.
They got 2 people on him and started fighting with him right after the penalty was called.
Yeah, and it's I thought for a moment there it was going to be a 5-on-3 late.
Well,
that really.
It kind of was
really,
when they tried to pull the goal.
Well, I was going to say that really would have tested Patrick Wall. Let's really see if you got the guts to do this.
Yeah, they had
5-on-4.
They had a messy line change there where they're trying to get the goalie out, and there was too many men, and then there weren't enough.
Yeah, and that was just right before the penalty was called, right?
Yeah.
Because Pat's already right in front of the New York Islander bench. So, I think a lot of positives on the whole. For Joseph Wall, I think you needed him probably 3 or 4 key moments in the game, and the last one obviously was the breakaway save when you got a power play. I mean, how devastating would that be? If you go through this game and you think all you got to do is not give anything up when you got a power play, and you should get 2 points. So he came up big, and you go back through that stretch, whether it was Joseph Wall or it was Anthony Stolarz, their goaltenders regularly made those saves at the right time to keep them in it.
Just a big picture view of this group now as we go into the new year. They sit atop the Atlantic Division. Did you think this would be possible with all the injuries and adversity they had to go through, losing a goaltender, the controversy with John Tavares losing the C, all that noise, all those side stories have been side stories just based on their play. Did you think it would be possible with what's gone on this year?
No, and yet, I almost kept myself by saying, boy, there's more there. There should be more consistency here. They should be better at this. And that's sort of the downside of following one team. You know all the flaws, you know everything. Other broadcasters come in and they'll say, boy, our 5-on-5 are not good, or our bottom 4D aren't very good. And you go, wow, it's like other people have problems too. This is kind of amazing. So that's one of the I think one of the downsides of covering one team for an entire season, especially for maybe 28 seasons or longer, and you start to get the blinders on and forget that everyone goes through it as well. But I thought personally, even if they were healthy, Stewie, I thought it would take them longer to adapt to what Craig Berube wanted them to do. I thought there would be more like Paul Maurice going to Florida after they were the highest scoring team and won the President's Trophy, how they struggled through the following season before everything clicked and they go to the finals back-to-back years. So I thought it would take a lot longer, but it's almost as if the injuries and people in and out of the lineup actually helped them buy into that team mentality of, look, this is how we have to play as a team, and we have to simplify, we have to be defense first, and sacrifice bodies at both ends of the ice. And so maybe in some sort of bizarre, strange twist, it's because of the injuries they've been able to adapt, that team mentality a little better.
I think when you watch a team like the Islanders, and I'm going to put them in the same boat with the other 7 teams that are out of the playoffs in the East to varying degrees, you've got a team there that waits for the turnover because they can't generate any offense. And I think if they tried to, they'd expose themselves defensively. And it makes you appreciate that the Leafs were always able to generate offense. Defense was the problem. So, I don't know how you improve on where the Islanders and all those other teams are, because it's just a lack of skill, isn't it?
Yeah, and yet... you look at the Washington Capitals, and Alexander Ovechkin aside, you go up and down, and it's the guys with 10 goals to 14 goals, and you're going lines 1 through 4, and you're saying, okay, this is out of all the teams in the league right now, this is the perfect team. It's shared scoring, it's depth, it's you wonder if it's for the Capitals, it's like the Canucks were last year. Where everything goes right and you have an incredible season, but it's hard not to admire that mentality where and even when Washington's in, it's not like they're creating a whole lot off the rush. It's the same thing. It's got pucks deep, it's throw the puck to the net from the blue line, look for the redirection like Tom Wilson's goal in the third period, and a lot of their goals aren't highlight reel goals, but they're the same way. They're the workman-like goals to do it. And you're right, the Leafs still have, especially with Matthews in the lineup, that ability to score off the rush and create off the rush. But I think when you look around the league at what teams have success with, even on the power play, you go back to when the Leafs power play was clicking, they weren't the six-way passing way goals. They were all redirections and rebounds. And, hopefully that's something they can get back to as well.
Final one for me. Holidays are winding down here, and Christmas just passed. What's on the wish list for the Maple Leafs going into the new year? And for me, I'm hearing some talks about the second-line center, but John Tavares just scored his 19th of the year. He is, I think, cemented in that second-line center role. He's been playing great as of late. I think he's almost crept into the top 10 in scoring now. So what are your thoughts on them adding a depth center or a D going into the new year?
Yeah, I think that's what you're looking at. Like I said, when you read the stats, and in Holmberg, or the lineup as well, but he's only got, 2 or 3 as well. I know there's some empty netters in there. Kind of similar to a couple of years ago when they brought in Ryan O'Reilly, where you thought, that's kind of the perfect, hybrid guy that can win face-offs and, still man the second power play unit. So I think that's on your wish list if you're looking at maybe acquiring somebody. But let's go with the old cliche of good health and happiness in 2025 because I think the Leafs especially would welcome that.
Absolutely. Ralphie, thank you very much, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, you
Happy
too.
New Year.
Too. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so the Leafs win 3-1. We'll be back with more live from Scotiabank Arena. Leafs Game Night, TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Sport Check Boxing Day event is on now. Take 20 to 60% off store-wide on the top brands in sport. Sale ends January 1st. See in-store or sportcheck.ca for more details. Some exclusions may apply. Sport Check. Say it with sport.
What a shot.
Tennis hits different down under.
That is absolutely extraordinary.
So don't miss a moment. The Australian Open, January 11th to 26th on TSN and TSN Plus. Subscribe now.
What the flock?
Excuse me?
What the flock? These wings are amazing.
What the flock? I mean, what are you talking about?
What the flock wings? Try one.
These are delicious. I bet the kids will love them.
Yeah, but maybe we should call them WTF wings in front of the kids?
Seriously?
Oh, yep. Now I'm hearing it.
Get the What the Flock family combo. 20 wings, garlic bread, large potato wedges, 4 cans of pop, served with celery, carrots, and 2 dips for just $46.99. Order now on Uber Eats or skip the dishes. Or visit WTFlockWings.com.
Stop playing small in the world of sales and leadership. Elevate your game with Train West Online Academy, the ultimate destination for cutting-edge sales and leadership training. At Train West Online Academy, we understand that true success comes from mastering the art of sales and leadership. We will provide you with expert guidance and proven strategies to help you exceed your targets. We walk the talk. If you're deadly serious about improving your sales and leadership capabilities, go to trainwest.ca to learn more. That's trainwest.ca.
Leafs Game Night live from Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. 3-1 the Leafs win, and so that closes out for them the 2024 calendar year. I think we all do this personally, but when you go back to January 1st, 2024, and where they were and who they had and what the projections were, I'm going to say that this makes a lot more sense to me than how we started the year.
It is, and this team is a team that's gone through a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries through goaltending to some defense in and out. Their top player, Austin Matthews, going on, I believe, 14 games out of the lineup, but they just found a way to persevere. And I think just it starts with Craig Berube just setting the precedent with regardless of who you are, you have to stick to the system. And they're getting success and wins, and this is the team that's sort of now paid attention to those details a little bit more. But it hasn't necessarily taken away from the personal success right now. You see Mitch Marner now amongst the top 10 in NHL scoring. He's on pace for his first career 100-point season. William Nylander's on pace now for, I believe, close to 50 goals. His career high is in the 40s. So I think there's a trust and there's a belief in the system because it's leading to wins. And tonight was a prime example where it wasn't the prettiest. They weren't the sharpest. The power play wasn't necessarily clicking. Yes, they got the one at the end of the game with the empty net, but the system has taken them through. It's helped them through the injuries. It's helped them through goaltenders not playing the best. It's helping them with some youngsters in the lineup, 4 or 5 AHLers at one point, and the system has just helped them, this far for 2024.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's more of a team. In the past, it was can the offense lead them, and can they find the parts at the trade deadline to patch this together and make it work? But this is, I'm going to say, more legitimate.
It is. And going into the new year, I think Ralphie summed it up perfectly. What do they really, really need? And I don't think it's a person. I think it's health and happiness. So
yeah.
Again, that is part of it. And You're going to have many man games lost to injury, but that's life in the NHL, and you need to have that next man up mentality. But, let's not mince words here. This team is a better team with Austin Matthews. They need his goal-scoring prowess, but most of all, they need him healthy and getting back to the level that he was at last year when he scored 69 goals. But I think what people forget about that performance last year, it was at both ends of the ice. He was, amongst the Selke candidates as well. He was winning his faceoffs. He was leading in forwards, were blocking shots. He was all over the ice playing a physical, dominant game. They need that to sort of take them to that next level and going beyond the first round.
So let's flip this around. Let's put you on the visiting team, and you're doing a pre-scout on the Leafs January 1st, 2024 and December 31st, 2024. What are the differences when you're trying to figure out how to defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I would say, years past, it would, get them into penalty trouble because the penalty kill will be struggling a little bit. But I don't think the game plan has shifted a little bit. And you saw the goal that they let in today was very similar to the one that Dowd scored, right? Where they struggle a little bit in the D zone, where they collapse a little bit too much, but they leave and they get caught puck watching, and it just sort of leaves some backdoor plays. So as regards to system-wise, I think, the game plan hasn't necessarily switched up, but I think what's changed is you need all four lines going. In years past, if you shut down Matthews and Marner, and one of Nylander and Tavares aren't going, that usually guarantees you a win. So I think with the wins this year, there's been a lot of unsung heroes, and it's great to see Tanev get his accolades tonight. He was great. Him and McCabe were warriors. They were playing big, heavy game as well. So all four lines you need to beat Toronto, where in years past it was, shut down the big four and you'll be okay.
I'm going to allude to something you said with Ralphie. There's a lot of storylines in a normal year in this market. If the team wasn't performing to expectation, these would be narratives on a daily basis. There's the C off of Tavares, the C on Austin Matthews, the injury to Austin Matthews, the injury to Stolars, the contracts for Nyes, Tavares, and Marner. All of these things would have been like hot points, and they're really not. There is conversation about them, but the team's performance sort of gets in the way of that, which is a good thing.
Austin Matthews went to Germany. We hear he has a chocolate addiction, right? So there's all these storylines where it would be days and days of just, the talking heads, and we are, I guess, amongst the talking heads. We're talking about things that weren't really important to overall what's, important to this group, which is the performance on the ice. So great job by Tree Living, Berube, and the whole entire coaching staff for just sort of, quieting that noise. And a lot of the pressers, Berube, he's straight to the point. It's matter of fact. He doesn't mince words, but ultimately he doesn't throw his players under the bus. So that's the one thing that I'm grateful for this year going to 2025. We're not discussing, contracts. We're not discussing, what's going on next year? Where's the goaltenders? What's going on with the flights? What's going on? What's the wish list for, the trade deadline? We're assessing and analyzing game by game. And that's how it is in most markets. So it's great that they're winning, and let's see if they can continue this now going into the new year.
Yeah, not looking for a home run. One of the other things that we haven't talked about much that sort of takes the steam out of concern or panic is the layer of players on the Marlies that was called up when the injuries got a little deep. And then you understand that, okay, if these guys don't come back this year, they will next year. And I can't remember the last time you would look forward to what happens 2 and 3 years down the road with people that are developing in the system, because there just didn't seem to be any.
Yeah, and I'm just going through my mind, and when's is it Brawl? Again, I can't even name the prospects, and again, I'm not chirping anybody, but those guys came in and they weathered the storm. Steve, Skrbenkin, Minton played some great hockey. Yeah. Alex Nylander had some serviceable games as well. So those guys have come up and done an admirable job. But what it does now is it got the Dewars, it got the Reeves, it got the Lorenzes sort of like, hey, I got to elevate here because, there's guys that are going to be coming to take my job as early as the new year, right? And I think for Minton, him going down was more of a cap casualty type of situation. But he's shown that he can be an everyday NHLer. But I think with what's riding on this season, I don't think it's right just to put him in that role, because for a while the third line was that vortex where we were questioning what was going on with it on a game-by-game basis. So to put him in there where that's where the microscope is shifting, I think it's good for him to go down to the minors, play some good hockey, and then come up when he's fully seasoned. Remember, he came in off an injury in training camp, and they fast-tracked him to get those 11, 12 games in. So I could see him coming back up it's going to put some other guys on notice. But, those guys that have been in and out of the lineup since those rookies have gone down, I think most of them have elevated their play, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good future look. You don't worry about goaltending long term. Hildeby is here now and has shown that he's on his way to an NHL job. In the past, it would have been Robertson, who eventually did make it, and a bunch of defensemen who eventually got moved out, and that seemed to be the end of the prospect list. So it's very good that way. And so there's another concern you file away because it looks pretty good for the future, so we don't worry about that.
Yeah, and just taking a look at Minton's stats, he's only played 10 games this year, in the minors, right? He's got 4 goals and 2 assists, and I really like the tenacity that the Gabrenkin made as well. And, but what it's done is, for me, I think a prime example is Nick Robertson, who was in and out of the lineup, and some of those rookies were taking his ice, and it put him on notice, saying, like, hey, this might be your last opportunity here in Toronto. You have to pick it up, and you have to pick up the slack. And ever since then, I think that third line has solidified itself because it's shown, hey, we're not afraid to go down to the farm if we need to get some wins from these guys too. So overall, that accountability has risen the actual product on the ice, and it's pushed everybody, and it's made everybody play better, ultimately making the team better as well.
So let's go back to the shot on the blue line that could add to a power play or even an offensive structure that's pretty darn good, but it seems to be a bit of a void. But when you address it, it's like if you brought somebody in to do that, that's fairly major surgery, isn't it?
Yeah, and as I think about it, right, and again, this isn't a perfect world where there's no cap implications or whatever. Yeah. I think, as much as you're saying you need that center, do you not need that bona fide sort of number 1A defenseman, right? Someone that can sort of elevate and push, Morgan Riley, right? And for me, like I've been saying this for years, and I know he's injured as a Drew Doughty, but I don't know how you add $11 million to this system, I know, but a guy that can run that power play as a power play quarterback that can make plays, play a good physical game. So those guys are few and far between, and they usually cost a lot, and they're not available. So you have to make do with what you can. And, I always talked about a Justin Falk who's in St. Louis. Is it a Parayko? Some guys like that, but those guys aren't usually available, and it's an arm and a leg to get those types of players. So I think you just have to make do with what you have. And why can't a Marner or a Matthews or a Nylander be guys that are, hey, you know what, we're going to be trigger guys. We're going to be the go-to guys that are going to shoot it and, look for the 1-Ts or look to get it through consistently. I think that's more so a system and better choice making out there. And I think someone's got to step up because the power plays are going to be dwindling as the season goes along. You're not going to be getting as many calls. They're probably going to put the whistle away on 2 of those in the third period. You have to capitalize, and you got to be trying to click as close to 20% above. If not, that could be the difference between winning a round and being, knocked out in that first round.
Yeah, so we're already projecting into the playoffs and what's required. The reason I brought that point up was because we just saw Washington and Chychrun, and what a nice fit he is there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You see him, how he walks the line and gets pucks through, and you saw that amazing goal that he scored. He activated down the wall, came up, made the pass, then flanked and flared out for the one-timer. Like, I haven't seen that goal from the defense here in Toronto in a while. But just with the offensive abundance, I think it's a perfect complement of defensemen. They struck gold with Tanev. They struck gold with OEL. There's no way you're going to hit, 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 and trying to bring somebody else into. So I don't think they're going to hit the home run and getting that quote-unquote number 1D. They have to do it by committee, but I think it's their stars. The stars got to step up. You're looking at, yes, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they do have Hedman on the back end, but Kucherov runs that power play. Point is the second option. Hedman with the shot is the third option, right? And so most of those power plays, yes, they have a trigger guy, but it's the puck moving and the directness and the puck retrievals that make them successful.
So 3-1, the Leafs win over the Islanders. And programming note, Overdrive on TSN 1050 at the bottom of the hour. And at 7:30 on TSN 1050 and the TSN Radio Network, World Junior coverage. Stu and I will have the pregame show, Canada against Team USA, puck drop just after 8 at the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa. So back to the Leafs win. Morgan Riley on ending the new year with a victory.
I don't think we put too much emphasis on ending 2024 necessarily. We're focused on the season, and we owed these guys from the last time we played, so we feel good about a win, and then we're going back there tomorrow. So it's important that we take the good things out of this game and we get ready to go again.
What did you think of Tanev coming back after taking a punt?
Yeah, no surprise from him. tough guy, competitor, ultimate kind of warrior. So, albeit impressive with him, it's almost not surprising.
Is he even more that way than you thought he would be? Worth? He had that reputation.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's safe to say.
What's it like in Steven Lorentz as a teammate?
It's great. Big goal, obviously, and great shot, and he plays hard. He does all the right things, and he plays within structure. He plays physical. He's committed. So you want guys like that on your team.
Thanks, Mark.
Happy New Year, guys.
You too. Thank you.
Morgan Riley, 3-1. The Leafs win over the Islanders. This is Leafs Game Night, live from Scotiabank Arena on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you covered this college football season.
The college football playoff action continues with Penn State taking on Boise State in the second round this weekend. Can Penn State keep it rolling after a big win over SMU, or Genti and the Broncos prove to be too much for them to handle? Make sure you tune in to Sports Grid Radio to stay up to date on all the latest.
The place to get the winning edge over the sports books this football season is Sports Grid Radio, channel 159 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Vegas Golden Knights head coach Bruce Cassidy.
What gets you excited when you see their team, really starting to function at a high level?
Now you're bringing new guys in and creating a culture for them. I have always enjoyed that. Enjoyed it in Boston. Love it here. Two organizations with great culture and winning sort of attitudes. And we're seeing some young guys getting a little more responsibility and handling it well.
The Power Play. Weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Arena, Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. 3-1, the Maple Leafs win. The stars in the building. Number 3, Kampf. Number 2, Tanev. Number 1, Joseph Wall, who looked like he may have an injury problem early in the second period, but played through it, stopped 30 of 31, and as I say, the number 1 star, and here he is talking about his own performance.
I felt good in that. Felt like I was good technically. Like I think Curtis and I talked about a couple of things. I thought I did a good job implementing a couple of those things. And other than that, I thought our team looked really good, and it was good by us to close out a close game like that against a good team.
Early in the second, it looked like you had tweaked something or kind of looked to be in discomfort. Were you?
I'm totally fine. Yeah, just sometimes quick plays like that, you mess something up, but it goes away. So yeah, it was totally fine.
What was the emotional level like in the second period with the Islanders goal called off, your goal called off, and the Islanders tied, and Steve scores like 60 seconds later?
Yeah, good job by us striking back both times they score. Stuff happens during the game, and happy that theirs got called off. It was a good job by us, striking back. So,
what did you make of Lorentz's goal?
Yeah, it was a really nice shot. So it was good to see him put the puck in it.
Look at Tanev in front of you, the efficiency that he plays with in the pencil zone.
Yeah, you guys see it out there. He's very underrated, I think, even by when people talk about how good he is defensively. Like he's so poised with the puck, and he makes great plays and blocks a lot of shots. So he's the goalie's best friend back there.
What did you see in that short-handed breakaway they had in the third? Morgan's trying to get back, and you obviously stayed with the guy.
Yeah, I think I did. Mo did a good job kind of disrupting him a bit and allowed me to do my job.
Were you thinking of going out to try and get to the puck before he did, or
I think he probably would have beat me to it if I went out. I think anytime that it happens like that, for a split second you do, and the puck kind of slowed down, so I don't think there was a point in me coming out. I think he would have wheeled right around me.
Joseph Wall. Post-game comments are brought to you by Honda. Score a $1,500 Honda bonus on the CR-V LX. Conditions apply. Visit HondaOntario.com. Big save. Shorthanded breakaway late in the game.
I would say maybe a little bit too late to be the TSN turning point, but that was a big save. And not to bring Murray into the conversation. I think the difference is the timing of that save. That is a big save, and it saves the game from going into overtime. And I think that's sort of his bread and butter. And yes, there's some games that he's off, but when he's called upon at the big moment, he makes that big save, and it was no different tonight. So 30 stops for him tonight, and it's good to see that he said, hey, you know what? Sometimes you have little bumps and bruises and you shake it off. So it's good to see that it's not too serious because, again, we're sort of watching from up here, almost cringing, because if the adversity that they dealt with has been tremendous, but if they lose another goaltender with Stolarz already out, we could see them dropping in the standings, just because you don't want to be throwing the Hildebees and Murray, who's still coming back from that injury and might not be 100% in his play to the Wolves. You need a bona fide NHL goaltender, and so far in his career, Wall has proven he's that guy.
Boy, an injury would be a certain narrative changer for sure, and I like how he said things happen sometimes and you work through them, and so there's a guy who's had muscle tightness and probably all kinds of exercises and ways to ensure that it doesn't worsen, and I'm left to believe that that's what happened there. He knew how to treat it, and it worked out okay.
Yes, I always use the reference of me and my fingers. I got summer fingers, some are here, some are there.
Look at that.
And I've never been diagnosed with a broken finger.
Yikes, guy.
So there's pain, there's injuries. You can play hurt, you can't play injured. Sorry, what's that?
Pretty good range on the piano, though.
Oh, yeah, I could hit F major, F sharp, yeah. But,
oh, boy.
But that's life in the NHL. But, again, I think it's magnified just because Stolarz is hurt, and he's already on the shelf, and, they can't afford to lose another goaltender. But I think what's great is in today's NHL, there's so much with regards to stretching and activation and therapy and rest and recovery. I'm sure he'll be just fine.
It's enough to make a broadcaster tired, I got to tell you.
I know. We were sort of cringing up here when that injury happened. We're like, someone's not playing in a back-to-back, or but
it shuffles the entire deck, doesn't it?
Yes, but again, it's just magnified because Stolarz is hurt, and the injury concerns of late. But I'll tell you, if he's prone to be injured, he's doing whatever he can behind the scenes to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And yes, it's part of the game, but again, I think that's part of the evolution of being a starter goaltender in the NHL. You have to do the rest, you have to do the recovery, you have to take care of your diet and your exercise. So I'm sure he's paying extra attention, especially with his past history.
He's got stretching exercises that I would apply to $1 that he applies to the groin muscle.
Yes, putting it on the rack.
Yeah, say, oh no, it snapped. Oh darn. So off to the island on Thursday, or where they play now, which is at Belmont Park, and obviously the Islanders, you know what they're going to do. They have to play within themselves to generate anything, and the Leafs hope to sweep them.
Yeah, and again, I think they just have to continue to play the way they have. Probably a little bit better start now as they're going in as the road team, and they want to have do their best to score the game's first goal again. And I think where they can really improve is, that game could have been a lot easier if they scored one of those 3 power plays before they scored their fourth. So special teams got to be special. You got to take advantage of a team that's struggling on specialty teams, and I think that's going to be the key going into Thursday's game.
Stu, a great drive for you to the headquarters to do the World Junior game, and keep the right lane on the DVP open for me.
Okay, see you in 14 minutes.
Absolutely. Well done. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Head over to SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
So I think it's about 9 minutes. I walk off the bench and said, Ness, explain it to him, will you?
What's up, everybody? How's it going? If you're still hanging with us after the post game, that's awesome. Heading over to knock out the World Junior Hockey Championship game. That's really, really cool. All right, and we're going to be live tonight for Canada and USA here, because go Canada, go. Can't wait to celebrate tonight. New Year's Eve is always the best, and Man, New Year's Eve, so much fun. And I hope everybody has a great New Year's. I'm sorry I missed that chat there at Techno Gamer, Armin Gamer Empire. Very cool. They're saying in the chat, Happy New Year, everyone, from a Leaf fan in Punjab, India. There you go, in India. Already New Year's, I'm sure. I need to head back to the Raptors stream and then figure out the rest of my evening with the football game and Canada. Carmen Don Allen, there it is in the chat. Go, Leafs, go. Thanks for hanging with us, Carmen. What a game. Johnny ices it. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 3-1. Now let's go, Raptors. Although my parlay, my little $10 parlay there will go to crap if the Raptors. But man, I'll take a Raptors win. It's been a rough stretch for the Raptors with 10 in a row. Horrible. All right, go Leafs, go. We'll see you guys tonight for the hockey game, the Canada-USA game for sure. Any predictions out there? Any predictions for USA-Canada tonight? We saw a lot of them in the chat during the game. That was a lot of fun. So I'm sure everybody that was in there today is going to be in there tonight. Go Leafs, go. Happy New Year, Leafs fans.
p.m., the Washington Capitals take on the Boston Bruins. You can listen to the Capitals on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 950, and the Bruins on Internet 921. At 1 p.m., the Toronto Maple Leafs take on the New York Islanders. The Maple Leafs are on Sirius 91, XM 91, and Internet 946, and the Islanders are on Internet 937. At 3 p.m., the Vegas Golden Knights take on the Montreal Canadiens. You can hear the Golden Knights on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 949, and the Canadiens on Internet 934. At 5 p.m., the Chicago Blackhawks will face off against the St. Louis Blues. The Blackhawks will be on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 925, and the Blues will be on Internet 944. At 8 p.m., the Colorado Avalanche will take on the Winnipeg Jets. The Avalanche will be on XM 201 and Internet 926. At 8 p.m., the Minnesota Wild will be facing off against the Nashville Predators. You can hear the Wild on XM 223 and Internet 933. At 8 p.m. as well, the Anaheim Ducks play against the New Jersey Devils. You can hear the Ducks on XM 202 and Internet 920. And for the Devils, you can hear them on Internet 936. Also at 8 p.m., the Columbus Blue Jackets face off against the Carolina Hurricanes. The Blue Jackets will be on Sirius 210, XM 221, and the Hurricanes will be on Internet 924. 8 p.m., the San Jose Sharks face off against the Philadelphia Flyers. Sharks can be heard on XM 204, Internet 942, while the Flyers can be heard on Internet 940. At 8 p.m., the Detroit Red Wings face off against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Red Wings can be heard on Sirius 209, XM 220, Internet 929, while the Penguins can be heard on Internet 941. Lastly, at 8 p.m., the Dallas Stars take on the Buffalo Sabres. Stars can be heard on Sirius 211, XM 222, Internet 928, while the Sabres can be heard on Internet 922. At 9 p.m., the Calgary Flames take on the Vancouver Canucks. The Flames can be heard on Sirius 91, XM 91, Internet 923, and the Canucks can be heard on Internet 948. Finally, at 9 p.m., the Edmonton Oilers face off against the Utah Hockey Club. The Oilers are on Sirius 208, XM 219, Internet 930.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 86, and the SXM app.
Former Buffalo Sabres head coach Don Granato was on the morning skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick for Sirius XM NHL Network Radio Channel 91 to talk about how different today's athletes are, as well as what it's been like to watch Austin Matthews grow.
It's really a switch in the last 10 years. The first birth year I had at the national team program was